What's up, everybody? It is Monday, as always, right here. We are live from Pike's Pub, 455 2nd Street, Pike in Southampton. We got a lot of stuff on the agenda tonight. As always, make sure you're liking and subscribing the show. Follow that Facebook account for Pike's Pub. Follow that Instagram account for Pike's Pub, obviously. And as always, wherever you're watching this on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, you name it, make sure you're liking and subscribing as well. Got a tons of topics, as we always do, for tonight. Get your mind off what's going on tomorrow. We're going to have some fun. We got an open mic like we always do. We got a Monday Night Football game. We got a Sixers game tonight. We got Paul George playing. We got, some brawls going on, with Joel Embiid and Marcus Hayes, right? We got a football game with the Kansas City Chiefs tonight. Can they go 8-0, right? We got some trade talk from the Philadelphia Phillies, talking about Nick Castellanos possibly being traded. A lot of things coming on, and obviously a big win again for the Philadelphia Eagles, and a squeaky win, so to speak. Coach almost gets in the way, like we've talked about before. We also got Sean Bernard joining us later from DraftKings, from Fox Sports, and Phillies Digest. We also have Dave Gleckner from SiriusXM joining us as well. Everybody that checked in on the show on SiriusXM on Saturday night, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. For everybody watching the Heat Ratio Sports, Rise and React Media, Corner Pub Sports, Final Judgment, and Win Daily Sports, greatly appreciate it. Like we do, get those comments flowing. Get those questions going. We got a game to break down tonight from a betting perspective. As always, we got a triple play, but it's actually going to be 4 bets tonight that we have. We actually have 4 bets tonight that we like for this game, and we also have the Pike's Pub bonus bet. We're going to run down week 9 in the NFL, like we always do. My man Jake's here. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? I didn't forget you tonight, by the way. I did remember you tonight. So again, make sure you're taking care of Jake behind the bar, as always, making sure everybody's drink is full and their food is hot. Now, get right into everything going on right now as far as Philadelphia. And like I said, we're not just Philly here, okay? My name is Tony Cutillo. You can follow me at Rise with Tony on any social platform. My phone is blowing up here again. Another stop. If I don't want to get a voting text, I've got 13 of them today. It's getting a little ridiculous if you ask me, but hey, man, it's almost over. We're on the home stretch, so we will see what happens. We got my man Brian down the bar. I don't know if he's going to get on the microphone. We'll see. He's always got some interesting opinions, like we always know. Shout out to my man Jeff Ayatarola for the banging soundtrack of the intro for the Tony Cutillo show. And as always, Christy Pressman for the fantastic 4K AI intro, man. She did some fantastic work. So I wanted to give a shout out to my peeps as well. And everybody watching, as always, man, already see you commenting away, getting ready for this show, getting ready for, what's going to go on tonight. But, man, let's get right into the topic at hand. And, I want everybody to check in because I haven't talked about this yet. And I know everybody's been talking about it, and I get it. Sometimes it gets a little old, right? It gets a little stagnant, but I do want to hear, because not everybody that follows this show is talking on other shows, right? And I haven't heard your opinions, and I haven't heard what you've had to say. Okay, what's exactly going on right now? Like, who do you blame in this entire situation? You have Joel Embiid, who everybody's frustrated with the Philadelphia 76ers. Listen, well, no fault of his own. I don't blame him, right? I think this is a complete organizational failure. I continue to say that. Poor Nick Nurse is like a scapegoat getting thrown out there, is sweating and not knowing what to say and just putting on bad. He's been put on the spot, and I think it's terrible, man. No Daryl Morey, no organizational talk. It's been terrible, and it's led to this. Okay, it's led to this. You got Joel Embiid, who we thought was okay, who's not okay. Okay, he's getting ready to be okay. And then listen, I will be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. You know me, I'm pretty transparent. I've always liked Marcus Hayes. I think Marcus Hayes was one of the best writers. But do I think he crossed the line? Yes. I'm not a shit. That doesn't mean I never liked his work, but I just think that he went a little too far this time. And I think they're both wrong in this situation. Okay. I think they're both wrong. I think they're wrong because number one, Joel's going to be a professional and be above this. Okay. He does. I don't care what anybody says. He's still going to be above it. Okay. And again, my man Al checking in. I'm glad Al's checking in because I know Al has got some opinions on this. My man Al's checking in. Al, you can comment. Again, you could call in if you would like. It's completely up to you. We got an open floor. Okay. I'm curious, Al, like, what do you think of this whole situation? Because I think both of these peeps are in trouble. Not in trouble, in fault. Okay. I think Joel needs to understand that he's at a space right now where he's got to not react. Okay. Just worry about the job at hand. And I also think that Marcus draw a line when he brought family into an article that really had no context, right? So I do think that they're both wrong. I'm not holding one over the other, but the thing I want to talk about is the platform that we all have now, right? The platform we all have now. Like when I'm on Sirius on the weekends, the first thing they give me is a sheet. They show me a show sheet that tell me what I'm not allowed to talk about. Not allowed to touch this. Not allowed to touch this. My man, my man Brian's coming up, man. You got right there, man. I'm like phone right there, right there. It's on. I want to. What do you got?
Nah, I just got all this shit everybody talking about Nick about his bad play call, and of course a bad play call.
The 9 points that they left on the board.
He lost points on the board. Of course, I like the aggressiveness. But I don't like people trashing everything. It's like, let it go. He fucked the game up. He almost lost the game, but let it go. He's still winning. And we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, but what would have happened though if we lost that game?
That would have been fucked up.
Yeah,
that really fucked up.
Yeah, it definitely would have been, man. And then we'd have had a different story, right?
We absolutely have a different story at that point.
Yeah, we definitely have a different story.
Now, let's think about this. I really think it was a rigged game.
Okay.
I honestly believe.
You think it was a rigged game?
I think it was totally fucking rigged game.
Saquon call.
There's no way in hell he did not get that extra point, the 2-point conversion. There's no way in hell. There's no way Saquon was not tackled.
His leg hit the ground first.
His leg, come on, get the fuck out of here. How are you gonna call that? How are you not gonna call it? And they didn't even review it.
I know.
Honestly to God, am I talking too loud?
No, you're fine, man. You're talking great. You're talking perfect.
To God, and they did not even review it. They reviewed whatever they to review. My son is 21 years old. He's down there with me. Did that. He's like, you down and down. No, I walked outside of the bar, and my bar outside got a 2-second delay on the TV, whatever the fuck. And I come back upstairs, and he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, they didn't even review it. They reviewed it, but they didn't. Who reviewed that?
Yo, and who would it?
And you're listening to the people on the radio, on the TV, and a professional analysts are saying he's down. He's down by contact.
Yep.
And that turns into a 7-point
swing. Yep.
I don't want everybody to forget about that. Yes, I want everybody to understand. Yes, I do not believe that Nick is the greatest. I don't want. I kind of want rid of him. But I'm not. I'm not going to do that now. It's my team right
We're
now.
6-2.
It's my team right now.
Now we're going into Dallas week.
We're gonna fucking kick the shit out of Dallas.
No more Dak. Dak's out for 2 weeks.
You know what? I wasn't even worried about Dak anyway. I don't give a shit about that. Or Elliott. What happened with Elliott? What's he doing?
Disciplinary actions.
What's he doing?
I don't know. He got suspended for conduct detrimental to the team.
Crying about something.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones, baby.
Yo, man. They listen. How's Mike McCarthy keep a job? That team is unprepared. That's right. I mean, I don't get it.
I have no idea.
I don't get it either. I don't get it. But listen, man, we're 6-2. So you think are we turned around? Do you think we've turned this around now? Oh, the slow start.
We are gonna. I do believe that we will be. I don't know that. I have faith in Hurts. I mean, I don't think he's necessarily the answer to the situation. I think he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback because you know what? He's holding back now. He's not doing what he was doing before. Like when you saw him breaking out on runs, and you think he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt. So he's breaking back. He's holding back. He's letting his team perform. And I think you're watching him. If you watch him perform, Jalen Hurts is actually he's trying to, and he's not. He's running it right now. So, or running the left, I mean. You know, they said he couldn't run left. He couldn't run left.
He couldn't throw in the middle of the field.
He said it all year long.
Yep.
He can't run left. He can't run left. He ran left for fucking 30 yards. I can run left.
Listen, man.
You know, I mean, besides that, I mean, I don't know. I love my birds.
Go, bro. We gotta love the birds, man.
You gotta love the birds. I've been
bleed green.
Man. I've been going there since I was shit, man. I almost fell off the stairs a couple times.
Oh, 700 level? Oh, you're a 700 level guy.
No, we were 500 level.
Okay.
We're in between that border of the vet and the middle of the vet. Like that walkway. You can walk.
Oh, okay.
Around.
Yep.
Step down right in my seats. But I you know, as far as seeing that what I saw this week, the Washington Redskins fan fall down 4 stands outside in the
oh yeah, at FedEx Field.
Yeah, the FedEx Field in New York, right?
Yep.
Well, I went to New York and I went there and I stripped my whole shirt off and they were like, take it off. And they're like, put it all back on.
Yeah.
Put it all back on.
Put it back on. We want it all for all.
And I was there for that 4th and 26 against
Freddie Mitchell?
I was there for that.
Oh, man.
And I was there for the Jets game. We came back and got one. And that's when I took my shirt off and it fucking, dude, it was awful. I took my shirt off, but we were fucking happy.
Hey, man, you didn't feel no pain.
You're up in the stands, and as long as no one pushes you, that idiot was just an idiot. He just fell forward.
There's a lot of idiots now. A lot of idiots out there now, man.
He was just an idiot. And hopefully he didn't get a ride. Hopefully he did not get a ride.
I'm sure he did.
I'm
sure he did.
But I hope he did.
Remember when they had the
come on, man, because I can do that anytime. I can fall forward like that. You fucking double over for fucking thing. I don't want to get arrested.
No,
I don't want to get arrested.
You can't get arrested. No way.
I'm drunk.
Uh-oh.
Oh, darling. Nice to see you again. Can I have the microphone?
Uh-oh. What's going on now? We
have
got
a beautiful brunette coming up alongside of me.
Uh-oh.
She weighs
Welcome
about
up. Trying to
125
get you off
pounds.
the path. No.
tree trails.
Trying to take the fuck away.
Thank you, everyone,
Uh-oh.
for Brian's commentary there.
Brian was fantastic.
Brian was awesome. Thank you for hanging out. He's so
She cut you off.
popular. He is so popular. Thank you so much for hanging out at Pike's
look,
Pub.
What's up? Uh-oh.
Adventures in the house tonight on the
Uh-oh.
podcast. And you guys know me. I talk way too much. I talk way too fast, but I'll make you laugh and I'll make you shit your pants.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
Wow. Brian, is that true?
Brian doesn't know. Just so we all know, tomorrow is an extremely big day. So, regardless of who you're voting
Oh,
for,
no. We got it. No.
Look.
What?
It's all love.
No.
It's love. It's love. One last sentence.
Hurry up. Okay, all right, I'll let you sneak it in. Go ahead.
Love each other
Yeah.
when you're at the polls, and just make sure.
I like that.
Just make sure that everyone's giving their legal ID. Let's just make sure everybody's giving their legal ID. If you see someone without a legal ID, maybe bring it up. Okay, so we're all Americans. We all love this country, and we all want the best for our families. So please
All right.
use your brains, use love.
Use the
Anyway.
brains of love. All right. What about
Come on,
sports? Come on, man. This is a sports show.
with the sports.
That's a sports show. Look, say hi to everybody.
Oh, wait, they can't see me.
No, yeah,
They
right
get to
there.
see
Look,
me
see?
now.
You're on TV. Look.
Oh, I'm on TV.
Yes.
Oh, I should probably be here instead of you. Who votes for me?
Brian wants to be on
Instead.
TV.
Oh yeah, let's see. Okay, come here, Brian. Let's see.
Who the fuck did
Who would rather see on TV? Me or you?
No, everybody wants Brian.
No, they haven't seen him. That's why.
Brian, they want you, man. They're asking
Come
for
on.
you. Who wants Brian?
They want to know what you look like. They want to know what you look like.
Brian, the bar captain. They want Brian, the bar captain, on here.
Come on, Brian. You gonna go? Or you're gonna fall on the table like you just said 2 minutes ago, you double boy.
Man.
Anyway, so that was a terrible loss for the Mets.
Yeah, look, Al wants to know how
The
many
Mets
beers.
lost the
How
other
many beers have you
day.
had?
I've had 2, not beers.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You know, Brian's one of those dudes.
Yo, I saw. Wait a minute. I saw a martini earlier.
I had 2 martinis.
Whoa.
What is that? Is that you?
Maybe. Now we're talking maybe
I wish we
season.
could have. Man, you can't get pregnant if a guy's fucking you in the ass, you stupid ass. I'm trying
What?
to get on stage.
Yo,
What
this
are
is
you
like
doing?
bar. This turned into barstool. I think this is barstool, man.
Can you turn it?
No, it's that, man. No, we don't
Oh,
want that. No.
Nobody wants to see what Brian
No.
is doing right now.
No,
For some reason,
look, it's Brian the
he's
bar
mad at
captain.
me.
I got Brian the bar captain.
Brian the bar captain's mad at me because I
They
took
want
his...
Brian the bar captain speak.
Come over and see. Come over and show him what you look like, you beast. Come on over.
Look,
Come on. Oh, we're all going to make noises now. Now this is what we're doing.
So,
This
yo,
Pike's Pub.
Pike's
Brian-
Pub. Where we at?
And this guy's fucking, he's putting his butt out in front of us. for
Oh
some
man,
reason.
I don't know what's
I
going on.
wish
He's
that
a
we
Dallas fan. This is what happens when you have Dallas fans.
You are not a Dallas fan, you motherfucker. You are not. All right. Half of me hates you. The other half,
Yeah,
I do
listen,
like
look, you got a fire. Al says you're a firecracker.
no duh.
Sorry,
I'm not screaming like a behemoth like this fucking guy is.
I don't know what's
Trying to
going
have a
on here, man.
conversation About life.
Brian wants to talk about Nick Sirianni.
Who's Ariani?
Saying she don't know who Nick Sirianni is.
Oh, maybe if I shook my ass, you guys want to talk to me.
Oh look, what's
No, but that's
going
not
on
happening.
here?
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
Here you go, guys. But if you turn the camera around,
I can't. It's in a perfect spot.
know, I'm telling
It's in a perfect
you
spot, man. I don't know what's
that
going
they
on
would
here.
not
That
wanna
Pike-
look
this is why you got to get down here to Pike's
over
Pub, man.
me. Okay, just
That's why I got to get down here to
how
Pike's Pub. We're
how
talking.
Are you in heat?
Are you in heat?
I am not in heat.
I don't know what that's all about.
You're in heat.
I'm not in heat.
You're in heat.
I'm not in heat. I'm not in heat.
Well, we're gonna
I'm
get to
in
some bets for
fucking
tonight. What's your bets
menopause,
for tonight? What are you betting on tonight?
Menopause.
Wow, man, what is going on here? I've been
I'm not
hijacked,
hate.
by the way.
Oh, it's
I've
not my
been-
fault. These
I-
people make
I've-
killer
I've been
espresso
hijacked.
martinis again. Espresso martinis.
Espresso. I
And
saw the
again,
martini
what kind
earlier.
of person is this? He's mooning in the background.
Look, this is my man Chef. Say hi to my
Is
man
this
Chef.
the kind of like sounds you make in bed, Brian? You're like, ah.
Look, say hi to my man Chef.
Hi, chefs.
Chef's the man.
Hi, chef.
He hits a lot of bets.
You shouldn't gamble.
Oh, why?
Why call gambler or something like that?
1-800-GAMBLER.
No. It's
Yeah, it's called 1-800
it's
Gambler.
1-800.
I'm telling you, it's called 1-800 Gambler.
Is that?
Yes. Yes.
You need a couple of seconds. That's what she
He need-
said.
I knew that. Wow.
Oh,
Wow. Oh, look, he's making a
I'm
leave
awake
now.
now, Brian.
I don't know what's going on here,
I'm
man.
awake now. You want to talk?
Oh, you're going to call back? We're going to take a 5-minute
We're
break.
going to take a 5-minute.
We're going to take a 5-minute break.
Get his brains out of the toilet.
He's got some good points.
Of
He's
what?
got some good points, man. We're
I know
talking.
he knows sports. I know he knows.
Okay, so
I'm just fucking with him. Two different people.
why not? Listen,
There's a commercial break.
not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
well,
They're back-
that was
8
because we were
minutes.
bored with what you were saying.
8 minutes.
I was bored with what you were saying.
Yeah, but nobody else was.
Well, sorry.
That's
I'm
what
a
happened. We were
powerhouse.
getting a good
I'm a
conversation
powerhouse.
here.
All right, here you go. Sorry, guys, for interrupting. I was bored, so
She needed a martini break.
exactly. No,
Right?
I'm drinking water now.
You're drinking water now?
I'm drinking
Oh,
water.
I
now.
think that's good.
It is.
Good, right? You
Yes.
gonna be here all night?
No,
What time? Why not?
because I'm drinking water.
Love it.
Goodbye.
Yo, tree trails.
Goodbye.
Tree trails. Right?
No, don't. Yes.
Yeah, right there. Look. There,
Tree Trail Adventures.
that sold a couple tickets.
You know what? Mark it the way you can mark it.
There it is. Bye-bye. Mic drop. Look at that. Look at this. Mic drop. Man. Woo. Yo, another round of applause. There we go. Beautiful, right? That was a beautiful audition there. I like it, man. That's the second time we had and Brian, whatever Brian was doing, I don't know, but Brian is the man. Maybe we'll get the bar captain back up here later, man. We'll get the bar captain back up here later. But Al, let me get to your comment, man. It got a little off the rails here. Al says Joel can't out his hands on anybody, but that clown had no business talking about his deceased brother and his son. That had nothing to do with basketball. If you remember, he had a problem with AJ last year too. Listen, Al, I don't disagree, right? I don't disagree. I completely agree that I do think that, we had to look at this two ways, right? I think that they're both at fault. Simple as that. Both at fault. Because listen, at the end of the day, you got to stop worrying about the damn papers, man. You got to stop worrying about the tabloids. You got to stop worrying about the rate. Like, why? Like you do, just go get better, man. Like that's it. Just go do your plan. Go get better. Do your plan. Do what you were made to do. Okay. I don't stop worrying about all the nonsense. Okay. And I understand. Listen, I get it. Right. I get it. Family. Yes. I understand. I know people would hit me with that all day. I get it. I'm just saying that you have to learn how to handle. Listen, Jason Kelsey got to learn how to handle himself better too. Right. Same thing. At the end of the day, he got to learn how. I don't care. Listen, that kid's an idiot. Right. He's an idiot. But we live in a society where everybody wants their platform. Everybody wants their clicks. Everybody wants their name in a paper. Everybody wants social media praise, right? That's what everybody wants. Oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. Doesn't get you a damn thing, right? But everybody wants to say, look at me. Like it's like, look at me, right? But seriously, at the end of the day, everybody wants that praise, and it gets you absolutely nothing. At the end of the day, it doesn't get you paid. Well, I guess maybe the Hawk Tui girl, I guess, it got her paid, right? So I guess depends on, what kind of platform that you get put on and what kind of comment that you bring. I mean, maybe we get, even Brian, the beer captain, could have had a good comment to get him on. So, but yeah, man, listen, I do think that they're both at fault. Now tonight, PG-13 comes back into play. I think Brian, the beer captain's back. Do we want to hear from Brian, the beer captain?
Well, I want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm going about fucking politics right now.
Nah.
Politics.
Sports, no politics.
No
Can't get
politics,
no politics.
at all.
We could talk sports. You could talk porn, whatever you want. Just no politics. How's that?
All right, fun.
Yeah. It's,
The last girl you just heard on air, I would love to see her in a porn movie.
whoa.
Ah.
What is going on here? Oh, yo. What is going What is what the hell is going on here, man? Everybody wants to know what's going on. This is Brian, the beer captain, by the way. The bar captain. Brian, the bar captain. You like that?
I am a bar captain.
There you go. He's the bar captain. So go, man. Come on.
I'm only let us sit on North Pole of the bar. We're at Pike's Pub here.
North Pole.
And I'm only let us sit up front because I talk loud and I drink a lot.
No. You
I
drink a
don't
lot?
That much.
No. And
but she is a beautiful girl. The girl who you heard talking earlier.
But wait a
She
minute.
is.
Why are you in Pike's Pub wearing a Rich Bauer shirt? You're wearing a Rich Bauer beer shirt, but you're playing. This is Southampton, man. Oh man, this is why you got to be down here. You got to be down here to get involved here at Pike's Pub.
Back in the church says.
Yeah. Everybody got to get involved here at Pike's Pub. 455 Second Street Pike, man. We got more to come. We got more. The bar captain here, Mr. Brian. We're hearing from I forget. Is it Deanne, right? Is it Deanne? What's her name? You don't know. You just want to see her in a porn movie, but you don't even know her name.
She's got nice feet. I know that.
Whoa! What is going on? Like Rex Ryan stuff going on here, man. Now we're talking about feet. Oh man, come on. I tell you, I remember this guy. He's a foot addict. He got a foot fetish. I remember this guy. Yeah, see. I knew you do. I remember this guy.
He always takes her shoes off.
He was running after chicks' feet, man. I remember.
She was always so quiet forever, dude. All of a sudden, she broke out of her shell. I don't know why the fuck she broke out of her shell, but she was so quiet.
She was. I all of a sudden, though, she was woo.
Yeah. All of a sudden, she never said a word. And now she's like this gutso girl.
She's like God
bless her.
She's like RTO, Art Terrell Owens. She's like Art Terrell Owens, man.
I love it.
Yeah, hey man, she's
I absolutely love it, man. She can do whatever the fuck she wants to do.
Yeah, I'm with it, man.
She's hot. She's good looking.
Wait a minute, ain't your wife here?
I don't know who the fuck she even is, really. I've been coming in for a couple of years now.
You don't even know her?
I really don't even know her. She's just in the same fucking spot all the time.
I know her more than you, and I ain't been here for a couple years.
Probably right. I really don't know.
Oh man,
I'll smash you on the back of the day, bro.
Yeah.
But I check her feet out all the time.
Dude, what is wrong with you with the feet?
Yo, man, I'm married. My wife's down there, too, by the way.
I know she is. I remember. You were trying to get her feet, too. We got foot fetishes going on here at Pike's Pub. We got Rich Sparrow beer and soda going on here at Pike's Pub. We got a lot of fun going on here at Pike's Pub, man. We're going to have a fun night.
Chris has got something to say.
Chris
has always got something to say.
He say he ain't got shit to say.
Chris has got nothing to say.
No, he's zipped tonight, man. He's got nothing to say. I think they're letting you take it. They're letting you take the wheel, Brian.
I'll be back.
All right, he'll be back. Brian will be back. Brian will be back for everybody. Hopefully, he's not back barefooted. That's all I know.
Drunk.
Yeah. Come on.
Drunk.
Nah, come on. I'll cut them off. I'll cut them off. Got to cut them off. Politic talk is cut off. You can talk about feet all you want, but no politic talk. Yeah, we got foot fetishes going on here, man. What, you taking my shirt now? Look at you taking my shirt. There ain't no feet. There's no feet in there. But yeah, man. Listen, man. It's always live and always having fun. Brian's back.
Love you, sweetheart.
Yeah, I think you should buy her a martini. That's what I think. Deanna. I think, yeah. She likes what? Princess Diana. I said Deanna. Die. Oh, die. All right, so you need to buy her a martini now. Deanna. Yeah, Deanna.
Yeah, I know it's tricky.
See, I know it's always tricky.
Get that shit back on.
It's on.
They told me Deanna. No, it's Deanna.
Deanna.
That's I fucked up.
Deanna.
And it's been like, I don't know, it's been probably, I don't know, at least, I don't know, 6-8 months.
She's been Deanna for 6-8 months.
Probably at least.
It's another
she
edition.
Came in real quiet and sat there all by herself.
Of the Jerry Springer Show.
And then all of a sudden she was in Indian style.
What are we
talking? Put her feet up on the bar. Drop her shoes. And yeah, she's got a hot.
What is going on here? Are we making love connections here at Pike's Pub, man? We're making love connections here at Pike's Pub. Bro, you're getting the eyes, man. You're getting the eyes, man. I see the eyes. Look.
I get no eyes.
Oh, yeah, you're getting the eyes. Yeah, man. You're getting a hook. We're gonna get like the Showtime with the Apollo, that little clown come out.
But yeah, she's a little kitty and like kind of like nuts.
Oh man.
So she's one of those.
She's one of those. That's okay. Hey man, everybody got their type, bro. Everybody got their type, right?
You got it, bro.
Brian again. Brian, the bar captain. Oh, my man, he'll be back. We're talking birds. We're talking Phils. We're talking Sixers. We're talking bets. We got some bets for tonight. We got NBA bets. We got NFL bets, man. We are definitely having some fun. Speaking of that, let's get right into the bet for tonight because it's been getting a little crazy here. I want everybody to get their bets for tonight. So this is the HRS triple play of the night, actually a quadruple play. Going 4 picks tonight in the parlay for WinDailySports.com. And again, make sure you subscribe to WinDailySports.com. Use that code word HEAT, HEAT, get you 50% off. We do not tier memberships, which means our membership covers everything for $25 a month. You will get every single sport, every optimizer, every prop model, every expert chat, every premium Discord room, everything, every sport, even tennis and League of Legends. So make sure you check that out right here. But we're going to get into the Pike's Pub triple play bonus bet powered by Win Daily Sports. And from a betting perspective tonight, obviously you have the Kansas City Chiefs and you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? You have one in a great defensive coordinator, okay, or a great defense, I should say, and defensive coordinator in Spags for Kansas City, who's unbelievable, who will absolutely try to do whatever he can to stop Baker Mayfield. And then on the other side, you have a really hurt defense in Tampa Bay that should be able to be exploited. And it's Brian back. Brian's back. Hold on, Brian's back. Whoa, whoa, that was a close one.
Little stumble.
That was a lot. Watch that chair, that spins.
But what's up, dude? What's up the deal? You tell me, boss. What's up there with Embiid hitting some fucking ref?
What? Who's hitting a ref?
Embiid. What the hell?
Oh, Embiid. Yo, he didn't hit a ref. He hit a writer.
What was that about?
Marcus Hayes. He talked about his dead brother, and he talked about his family. What do you think? If somebody talked about your family, would you go after him?
You talking about my family? I'm gonna smack the shit out of here.
Well, that's what happened. So, but I think they were both wrong in that situation, right?
Did anyone see this on?
Yes. Yeah. Everybody. It was in front of everybody.
I haven't really seen. I thought I saw something in the locker room.
Yup. It was in the locker room. It happened in the locker room after the game.
I didn't see it quickly. I didn't see him on the right hand.
Oh, no, he didn't hit him. He shoved him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't hit him. He supposedly shoved him.
Supposedly shoved him.
That's what the story is. Like I'm not in that circle, right? I'm not in the media room. So but yeah, so he shoved him, and basically told him to keep his name out of their mouth, man. So
I don't blame him. Fucking what the hell, man?
I don't blame him either.
Will Smith can fucking smack somebody
Yeah,
else.
I mean, no.
Will Smith walked up there, see your wife, fucking get my wife out of here, bitch's mouth.
That was Chris Rock, right?
Chris Rock and Will Smith. Right?
Yes, yep. That was Chris Rock. Yeah, so I mean, I just when you're $1 million player though, you got to kind of control yourself too, though.
You do, absolutely.
So you got to take it in stride. You got to be like,
want to take jurisdictions or shit that happens against you that can keep you from playing.
That's true because now the league.
That's all you really worry about. I'm not worried about lawsuits and shit like that. You're
right.
Worried about that outside.
Exactly.
You're worried about not being able to play.
And he's already not able to play. Right. So we don't need any more issues for him not to be able to play. Right. So yeah, I mean, that's a problem. Now the league's investigating it. We'll see what happens.
That's fucked up because I never followed the Sixers before, but I really started following them.
They're playing tonight at 10:30.
Football, baseball kind of guy, hockey maybe a little bit.
A little hockey.
But I got into basketball because
how about soccer?
I'm fucking 50 years old.
How about soccer?
Nah, I don't. No soccer.
You like feet? I thought you would like soccer.
What the fuck would I like feet? You're beating each other your feet.
See, you're smart. You can come back. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
I get online, dude.
I like it.
I get on Facebook, and there's like a million pictures of. So they open Facebook, a million pictures of
Facebook feet.
And how do I even know about it? Facebook is fucked up.
I don't know how you know about it.
Facebook is fucked up. Because they know everything I know. They know everything I want, and like. As soon as I want to look at it, they did print it up.
Somebody's watching you. That's what it is.
They're fucked up.
I know. They're watching you, Brian.
So fucked up, the Megan shit.
They're watching you, man.
Make sure you watch it. I'm gonna watch this word here. Watch what porn channels you're on.
That's because you're looking for Princess Diana over there. That's the problem.
High school, man.
Yeah.
You don't care. We'll load off her.
Yeah. Yo, man, we're again 455 Second Street Pub. We're here at Pike's Pub, man, having a good time, getting ready for Monday Night Football, having a good time with my man Brian, the bar captain, sitting here since North Pole, right? And we got Alex that says drinks need to be cut off immediately for Brian and Princess Diana, man. What's that, man? They says drinks. I say, oh no, man. It says she's drinking water, Al. Says she's drinking water right now. Brian, I don't know, man. Brian, did you transfer to water yet or what?
What did I what?
Did you transfer to drinking water yet or what?
Did I get a glass of water?
I think you might need a glass of water.
I'm not sure I've had any water yet.
No, not yet. You want to stay hydrated, bro. I want to make sure you're okay.
I'm okay.
All right, man. As long as you're okay. The Sixers going to win tonight?
Yeah, man, I got my wife here with me.
Oh, so she gonna make sure you're all right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
I've been doing this shit for freaking. Come on, man.
Oh, I love it, man. Yo, my man. What's up, Dave? My man Dave Dixon checking in. What's up, Dave? You know Dave, right?
No, yeah, of course I am.
Yeah. He said, "What's up?"
What's Dave saying?
He's just checking in. He's watching. He was watching the show. He's just checking in, saying hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you doing, Dave?
Yeah, Dave. Brian said, "What's up?" He said, "What's up?" He says, "You sound good."
Thank you, brother. I know I got a little raspy voice.
A little raspy. You got a little Alicia Keys in your voice, man. That's all right. You got a little Alicia Keys in your voice, right?
Ain't not like waking that woman up and she's like,
look, there you go. She better get a damn breath mint, brother. That's what's gonna happen.
But it says, "Hey, you doing, honey?"
Now we're talking early morning bedroom stories, man. What else are we gonna talk about? Yeah, but you're wiping that cover off to see the feet. That's the problem. Yeah.
The covers on the feet.
No covers on the feet.
Normal chicks that have good.
He's fucking done. I mean,
Listen. Good.
Oh, I would love to hear that. Look,
Good-looking women know they have good-looking feet.
Okay.
And they're not covering under the covers. They're sticking them out, and they know they have good-looking feet. They're fucking hot, and they know they're fucking hot. And they're running the covers up. You know what they're doing? They're doing the same thing they're doing.
Listen, man, they all know what they're doing.
They're doing
bro, right?
doing, man.
Yeah, no, man, they're making us sweat, bro.
They got good-looking feet.
Yeah.
What
do we got here? Oh, wow.
Management just sent us a note. It's
Brian
really
is
important.
cut off
from the
management.
Microphone. From
Look at
the
that.
microphone.
What's that
Brian
about?
is cut off from the microphone. So anybody else who wants to
Who's
give
Mike?
their Mike's the big guy in the fucking kitchen.
No mic.
Mike's in the kitchen tonight?
No,
There's no mic.
from this mic for a phone.
That's
Beat it.
MIC.
Anybody
We got an uncut show, Al. We don't know what's going to happen next.
on this
Make sure you're
microphone.
tuned in, man, because you never know what's going to happen. Now, we got a wrestling match going on here at the bar.
Happy birthday to you.
Whose birthday is it?
Happy birthday
That's
to
all that-
you.
Not my
Happy birthday, Brian's wife yesterday. Happy birthday
What is going on
to you.
All right, we got to get back to some sports talk here, man. We got to get back to some sports talk. I don't know what's going on here. We got my man Sean Bernard coming on at 7:15. I got my man Dave Gleckner coming on later on. And we got some Eagles questions. Trying to get some Eagles questions here, bro. We got some Eagles questions. Look, hold on right here, man. See, look, here look, you're being called up. Tell him, come on, man. No, Adam don't have no Eagles questions. What's I forget what. I'm sorry. So what's his name? Ricky? Christian. All right, I think we're ready for the real questions here.
Some real,
What are we ready for?
full mouth questions. Here we go.
Yeah, man, let's go. Go ahead. Yeah. Wow.
Does Sirianni understand how fucking timeouts work? Are you kidding? Like the last 3 times, you got a minute 36 seconds. Does he understand? Does anybody on that sideline understand how fucking timeouts work?
I think he runs rogue.
Can I curse?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. Yeah, so I think he runs rogue, man. To be honest with you, I think he just.
You and I both understand.
Yeah,
football.
I don't get it. I mean, look, we won yesterday despite him. Like, think about if we would have lost yesterday.
Listen, they were saying, like, the experts were saying, like, oh, what's going to be, 30-21. I'm thinking if we let that fucking 2-6 team score 21 points on us, we're a fucking shit team. And the fourth quarter, we could have lost that.
I know.
He left 9 points on the
9 points
on the field.
Yep.
Okay. He doesn't understand fucking timeouts. And what the fuck happened in the fourth quarter?
Dude. I don't know, man. Like, again, now we got comments. So it says, like him or not, one and fired. He's not 40-19 in the last 3 years he's been here. All he does is win. See, this is what, like,
no, I've been screaming since from the first game this season. Kellen Moore comes in, and we're still doing fucking RPOs.
The same thing.
And it took 8 games to do this.
Because that wasn't
look at the success we've had.
That wasn't Kellen Moore's offense, right?
I don't.
It couldn't have been Kellen Moore's offense.
But he did it in Dallas. He did it in San Diego, wherever the fuck he was.
I don't know, man. Something just clicked the last 2 games.
I think somebody put somebody's boot in their fucking ass and said, "Knock it the fuck off."
That's what I did.
A monster and say, all right. So my second point.
Yeah.
What it is? Go fuck yourself. Anyway.
So, we are uncut here live from Pike's Pub. Never know what's going to happen here.
What to do, woman?
Oh, there you got Brian again.
All right. The circus that was Saquon and Devontae's, or Saquon and the
catch. Yep. Unbelievable. That Devon. I mean, listen, the Saquon.
I can't even, like, he had his, all right, so he was 5 feet off the ground. This is as high as I can bring my knee to my chest. I'm 56 years old. I'm a union guy. I'm 56 years old. This is the highest. His shit was in his fucking chest. And he was 5 feet in the air. And Smith catch was.
That catch one-handed. And told, how does that even happen?
His little, like, his 110-pound body dragging those little fucking toes.
Dude,
That's great.
That's going to go down as one of the best catches we ever
Unbelievable.
seen.
Unbelievable.
It really is.
Unbelievable.
And the throw was just as
that was a
good,
dime. That was a dime.
right?
That was
I
a
mean,
dime. Listen, remember what we did with McNabb? He was a running quarterback.
Yep.
You're probably not that old. You're like 20?
I went 46. Yo, I like you, brother. I like you. So what am I, 20?
So Donnie, right, was a running quarterback, and they nixed it, right?
Yep.
We want you to be a pocket quarterback.
Yep.
And then that didn't work, but then,
Nope.
they rolled him the fuck out.
Yes. Let him do his
was
thing.
Deadly.
Yes, he was.
And listen, what are they doing with
Rolling
Jim?
them out.
That's it. That's it,
I
man.
agree,
You
man.
know what I
Like,
mean?
I've been saying that. Like, what are we doing? Like, let him play. Let him be him.
Get him out of the fucking pocket so he can see the field. He doesn't make good decisions. Well,
But do you notice they do that with everybody? They've done it with Lamar. They've done that's true. No, you're right. You're right. But I mean, like, it's
you got a
why
6'5" white quarterback.
What?
He sees that you get up the line of scrimmage. The smart quarterbacks already know where they're going.
the problem is. Like, you watch Josh Allen, right? And you watch. I mean, he basically runs the show.
Yeah, but when he gets more mature and he stops being a goofball,
Well,
he's already pretty fucking ridiculous. You know that.
pretty, yeah, 100%, man,
100%.
100%. So who wins tonight? What do you like in the game tonight?
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Baker, I love Baker. Baker's been my favorite since college.
Love Baker.
You know, when he does this fucking bullshit, I love it.
What you know why? You know why? Because people rally behind it, right? Love it.
Who do you have?
I Kansas City has to be. I just can't see them losing to Tampa Bay. That defense in Tampa Bay is just terrible.
Yeah,
It's terrible. I just can't see it happening. I mean, it could be wrong. The NFL, right? As long as my bet's in, I don't care. My man, Christian, thanks, buddy. Oh man, there's another great points, man. As always, great points. I mean, that's just what this is all about, right? Everybody has an opinion, and when this is what we're going to talk about, right? My man Al checking in says, when we win, it's everyone else. He says, when we lose, it's Nick's fault. Come on, give me a break. Give him some credit. I don't know if it's not about giving him credit. I just think listen, man, one of these days you're going to lose these games, right? And like, if we would have lost that game, it would have been completely different, right? It would have been completely different. I mean, think about it. You did this against a team that was 2-6. What if you did this against a team like look what happened in the Atlanta Falcons game? I mean, nobody thought we should have won that game. What happened in the Atlanta game, right? Bad decisions cost you games. And guess what? This was a bad decision. And if you hear about it, like, I think that the saving grace of this Eagles team, honestly, has been Lane Johnson. If you hear Lane Johnson talk, Lane Johnson's been the voice of reason. And you heard him the other day, he was discussing, he said, we took our foot off the gas. That's exactly what he said. He said, we took our foot off the gas. He's like, we stopped playing. Right? That's what he said. We stopped playing. And again, man, Al says the Jags get a free 6 points. No, I agree. That wasn't a fumble.
That's exactly what Lane Johnson said.
Right, Brian? What did Lane Johnson?
Exactly what Lane Johnson said.
Brian's back, ladies and
gas,
gentlemen.
And they start sitting around and they're waiting for like points. I don't understand what they're doing.
I don't get it.
They're trying to put game. I understand. In a way, I'm sorry, guys. In a way, I understand what Nick's trying to do, put away games. But if you're not putting them away, then you gotta regroup. You gotta come back, and you gotta you look 9 points. I know 9 points is like nine fucking points.
9 points.
9 points, and 2 of them did not get given to you. 2 of them should have been given to you. They should have been given to you.
Listen, man, I agree. And
I mean, we saw that extra point yes.
Yep.
But you didn't get it. You did not get it, and then you decide to kick it, not go for the fucking, and just go for the points.
Just go for the points. And it could have cost you, man. It could have cost you.
You know, and then all of a sudden you're struggling.
Yes.
And and your team's like looking at you like, what the fuck, coach?
And
that's what they get. So teams looking at you like, what the fuck, coach? What do you want us to do?
Yeah,
we're trying, boss.
I'm
They're
sure.
gonna start fucking working with us.
I'm sure
We're
he'll
not
be
working
talking
with
to.
you. We're fucking working for fucking the team. We're all working for the team, coach.
They all want to
You're-
win.
You're fucking it up.
They all want to win,
And I
man.
guarantee you, every one of them guys on that team will like fucking kick the fucking field goal.
How many times did he tell you he was a football coach? 100?
No, he never said he was a football coach.
See, you gotta tell me you're a football coach.
No, I never told him that. Why would I tell him that?
You don't sound like one, but you were.
Yeah.
Well, why the fuck would you kick the fucking points?
Yeah. What would you have done, Coach Brian?
Get the fucking, not the extra point. Now, I gotta go for the field goal, yes. The field goal, yes.
Yes.
The
Got to go to
goal,
field. Yeah.
absolutely, yes.
I
The
agree.
extra points, I understand you're trying to get it back. You lost one or two. I get it. You're trying your push shit, but it didn't work.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. It didn't work twice.
I know.
And, I mean, it's just stupid not to go for the fucking 3 points.
And guess what? He's not going to go for it again. He's going to continue to do this, man.
I don't believe he is. I believe he's going to listen to us.
I
I
mean,
believe there's a point of trying to be aggressive, and then there's a point of being stupid.
yes. You know who? Wait.
Yeah.
You know who learned that? Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Last year, Dan Campbell was stupid aggressive, right? And then he learned his lesson. And then, right? That's that, right?
Can you imagine
It pays off. It pays off a lot of times.
1,000 and oh,
I know.
but like, can you imagine?
I
It
love
pays
Dan
off a
Campbell.
lot of times.
Right?
But I mean,
And
come
that's a
on,
guy who
man.
he
If
learned.
it doesn't pay off,
Yeah.
you got to sit back. You got to get the points.
The problem is, I still feel like, see if you agree with this. I feel like, yeah, okay, we went
Problem
Nick
is, I
Sirianni.
believe that he's letting too many people call the plays.
Too many,
has no decisions.
too many people got their hand in the pot.
Too many people.
Way
hand
too
in the
many.
pocket.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep, 100%.
That's what I'm saying. He's
But,
not even. He's not.
That's
even
the problem.
making
A lot of
call.
people, unfortunately, right? I mean, you got Sirianni, you got Kellen Moore, you probably got
Yeah.
Howie Rosen's probably got his
Yeah,
hands in
yeah,
there.
Everybody probably got something.
Oh,
to
of
say.
course they do.
But when it comes down to it, Nick should call the plays, and it should be bullshit. This is all bullshit. It's all bullshit because, like I said, fucking, I ain't got nothing else to say. Nick should fucking play, and it should be the end of the story. And if we got him as head coach, he's our offensive head coordinator, which you could narrate down to Nick what the play's called, and that's the end of the story. If Nick likes it, he goes with it. If not, he gives Jalen a chance to switch the play.
Jalen's got to recognize things, and I think that he
That's what I
does.
think.
Right?
That's what my think is. Like I said, I mean, you call plays from upstairs with no one on the field, and you're not letting anybody on the field be able to address the play. And then you're making it audible out there, which is like a fucking, it's kind of crazy.
Well, all I know
It's
is
kind of crazy. So I think that the fucking calls should go from him advice to Nick or the fucking our head coach advice.
he's faded. He's faded.
Advice to the head coach.
Advice to the head coach. We got advice.
Advice to the head coach. And then
Wait
the
a minute.
coach calls the
Wait a minute.
fucking play. And then the play goes to Jalen.
The jail.
I don't want this shit going on no more. There's too much going on. I mean, what the fucking Dick doing?
Listen,
What's
man.
he even doing?
Listen, he's winning games. People
what
say
the fuck is he even doing?
he's winning games. He's 6-2.
I like him. I'm
I
not saying I like him, but I like the offensive coordinator.
you don't like Kellen Moore?
I know.
Ah,
I like the people that are fucking calling this shit plays.
We don't know that, man. We don't know
Who
that.
the fuck's calling it? Who the hell is calling him a rollout? Hurts had a rollout.
Okay.
Third quarter had a rollout. Do a fucking rollout. What do you got? 4.3 yards?
Okay.
It was design play. I hate that.
Oh, when they do the design draw up the middle too.
I hate it.
You hate that.
No, I hate that design. You know, you watch the other teams and they get design plays where these guys are fucking protected.
Josh Allen.
They got everybody else going the other way. They got the safeties going the other way. Get the safeties going the other way. Don't bring the safeties toward fucking Jalen Hurts. Don't bring them in. Don't let him get hit. Let him get hit by a fucking tackle. Let him get hit by a fucking not by a safety.
No, you can't
Not
get.
by a free safety.
Well, we don't want to get our quarterback hurt, right? I mean, that's the thing. We don't want him to get hurt.
You know what? Hurt.
I mean, what do we? Who do we want? Who's our backup?
But I mean, you watch the game. The fucking it. What the game looks?
Which game? We had a lot. Yeah, Tony, you need parent advisory on. Yeah, I'm gonna FCC, right? No FCC rules here, Al.
1 o'clock game, and we were like, "What the fuck are these play calls that these guys are playing that we can't play these play calls?" And it's like, you know, you got to get Jalen Hurts outside of the pocket. And you got to let get him outside of the pocket. You got to let him run. And you got to make sure he can't get hit.
Perfect.
Can't get hit, man. You can't get hit. What you got, Christian?
Can I ask? I want to ask you and all your listeners.
Yeah, what's up?
Last year when we were 10-0 or whatever, were we playing fundamentally good football?
No.
They were.
No.
Perfect.
We were getting by.
Accidental.
Yeah.
Accidental.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And you know why we all love Chase Utley?
I love
Because
Chase.
he's fucking fundamentally sound.
Yep.
If anybody, you or any of your listeners ever played sports, you want to be, you're taught from a little kid fundamentals.
Yes. 100%.
Right.
100%.
100%.
Yes.
You know, and we knew it was a sham last year. Every fucking game, we're like,
Yep.
oh my God, they're fucking terrible, but they kept winning, and then the bottom fell out of it.
The whole, something. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's almost like everything was like the Atlanta game this year, man. Like, it was like we were, and then we just never put our opponents away, and we were still making mistakes, but we were winning.
And
right?
and the other thing, again, 56 years old. Every fucking great Philly team of all time would play down to their competition, like we did yesterday.
Like we would do with the Marlins, with the Phillies all the time. Like how much would that?
Fucking
right?
Serious
All the time, man.
2-16, you let up 23 fucking points. The fuck out of here!
I
in your house.
In your house.
Drive me crazy.
In your house, and they didn't even have dirt. They weren't even healthy, man.
Drive me crazy.
It's nuts. It's I know, man.
Good point, Christian.
It was a good point, Christian. Brian the bar captain's back.
Christian. I hate the way they fucking play down to it.
Yeah.
But we play down to other teams. I mean, it's unbelievable that we you know, the way we played this week is so bad because we have so much potential.
We do have a lot of potential.
We have a lot of potential. Shaquan fucking slammed. You don't run the ball.
Yeah, but you ran the ball 30 plus times.
I know, but that was after they realized they couldn't pass the ball.
Yeah.
They realized they couldn't pass the ball.
I don't know, man. Jalen looked pretty good, Bri. I don't know.
They scored. They got 7 points in the first quarter.
Finally.
Finally
scored in the first quarter.
But that was a fast play. So Saquon did not run at all.
No, but he caught it.
Right. So, but I mean, just look at this. Look at this stuff, dude. It's so bad that they need to balance it out, and I think they'll be a perfect team for a run. Now, I'm not saying that they're gonna,
going to the Super Bowl. You making a Super Bowl run?
I think they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any team out there. I think Detroit
Think Detroit's the best team in football?
They look good.
They do look good. They do look good. They look pretty unstoppable.
You know, you gotta get by Mahomes and Reed.
Yep, we got Mahomes and Reed in Kansas City. You're playing tonight, right?
That's the ball right there.
Yeah, that's 100%, man. 100%. Brian, we're gonna take a break, man. How about we want to do an Eagles chant, man? Can you do it?
Probably
You
go
want-
home and get a beer. My wife probably gonna take me home.
Can you do an Eagles chant? Can you do it? EAL.
I can do it.
Oh, hold on. Let's play the song. Ready? We'll go on. Ready? Yeah, Brian, you're killing it. Here we go, Brian. You want to hear a pig? Woo, my man. My man. We're going to take a break here live from Pike's Ball. God, for Brian, the bar captain, as always, but the feet mongrel. My man. My man. Everybody have a fantastic 5 to 10 minute break, and we will be right back. And we're back. We're back live right here again. This is the Tony Cutillo Show here live from Pike's Pub. A little uncut version earlier in the first hour. This hour get a little down to business. We get the bets going. We got my man Sean Bernard going to join me in about 5 minutes via remote from Fox Sports, from Phillies Digest, and every DraftKings. He does so many different things. We're going to talk a little Monday Night Football, a little Sixers preview tonight. Can't wait to get into that. Got my man Dave Gleckner join me from SiriusXM, one of my co-hosts there on the weekends, talking a little NFL recap, week 9, what's going on for NBA tonight. But real fast before Sean comes on, let me go back. And again, like you give you guys what I'm betting for tonight. As always, the HRS triple play, but this is going to be a quad play, man. We're going all 4. We're going 4 plays tonight. I'm going Pat Mahomes over 1.5 touchdowns. Rashad White over 3.5 catches. Mecole Hardman over 7.5 receiving yards. I love that bet. There was a Ray Davis bet I hit on yesterday. It was over 2.5 yards. I don't know how that snuck in there. Mecole Hardman gets this one on 1 catch. And then we got Travis Kelce over 5.5 receptions. So like that bet, that's a plus 850 parlay. 4 legs, and like I tell everybody, like we do, powered by Win Daily Sports. Get over to windailysports.com. Use that code word HEAT, HEAT. You'll get your 50% off membership over there to get all our prop models and optimizers and everything we have to offer over there from every single sport, no tier coverage. And again, you can bet it right there and get the free plays as well. Now, Pike's Pub bonus bet, like we always do, courtesy of my man Matt McCarthy here at Pike's Pub. We got the bonus bet, which is Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown tonight. Listen, this is a team on the other side with Tampa Bay. Their defense is absolutely horrific. They are giving up some major plays in the secondary. And again, I just think that this is going to be a complete annihilation, to be honest with you. I don't see Tampa Bay standing with this team tonight. I don't. I'm a Baker Mayfield guy. I love his moxie. I love his grit. I just don't think this team right now, with the talent that they have lost, for the time being, is going to be on there. My man Adam checking in says he's got Sterling Shepard, ATD, and Baker Mayfield. Now, I could see the Baker Mayfield shot, right? I could definitely see that. I think DeAndre Hopkins has a good game tonight for Kansas City. And again, Sterling Shepard is a guy that runs really good routes, can get open at will. He was the guy, like we always said, he was the guy that unfortunately had some bad knee injuries in New York, and now he's over here in Tampa Bay. So again, make sure you lock that in, man, because listen, we hit some parlays the other night. We hit some parlays. Actually, we hit the 2 parlays yesterday. We hit a plus 850 and a plus 770. So we're doing well, man. We're doing well. If you're part of the, just so everyone knows, my nickname is Jigsaw. So if you're part of the Jigsaw Society over there at windailysports.com, you are having yourself a good football year. I know Adam is a part of the Jigsaw Society. He's been betting on NASCAR. He's been hitting on all kinds of stuff, man, because that's what we do at windailysports.com. And at perfect timing, I got my man checking. I'm going to bring him out of the green room into here again. We are live right here from Pike's Pub, 455 2nd Street Pike. We went uncut for the first hour. We had some really interesting conversation from the patrons here, from our bar captain, Brian. Some great questions by Christian and Princess Deanne, who came up here as well. And now we're going to get to some business. I'm sorry, Princess Diane. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I messed it up again. All right, I messed it up. So let's get my man Sean in here checking in. And again, you can follow Sean, man. Listen, I'm gonna let him introduce me, because this dude, he's been on me before. He does everything. You talk about Fox Sports The Gambler, DraftKings, Phillies Digest, Pick Swap. I mean, Sean, what do you not do, my man?
Tony, I appreciate you having me on, man. And yeah, a little bit of everywhere, but doing all my written work for DK Network on DraftKings right now. Still doing my thing at Fox Sports The Gambler, talking a ton of Sixers as their Sixers and NBA insider out there. And I have Sixers and Phillies Digest both going on YouTube right now. So hands in a lot of pots, but can't complain when I'm talking sports.
Hey, man, I love it. I love to see. When did you start doing the DraftKings stuff?
Couple months now, so I think I'm in
Okay.
my 4th or 5th month with them, so still pretty new.
Nice. And it's
Yeah.
is it just football or do you do all sports?
Yeah, basketball as well. So primarily,
Oh, nice.
primarily NBA. A lot of that. Did do some prop bet stuff for them, some pick six, all their kind of things that they got running out, and getting into the news world for DraftKings too. So they're really kind of growing out their written content, and I've been lucky enough to be given the opportunity to grow with them.
Hey, man, I love it, man. It's all about opportunity, man. I tell everybody, do not turn it down. You make sure you follow Sean on X at Sean SEAN_Bernard BARNARD1. I'll put that up in the chat as as he's talking, because we got a good game tonight, Sean, and I don't even want to talk. Listen, I don't want to talk about the Embiid stuff. That's been hitting the rug. I don't care. All I want to do is win basketball games, man. And I look at this team, and Paul George looks like he's going to play tonight, right? Looks like he's going to be there. West Coast swing. I have to ask you, because even without Paul George, this is a team that's got so many movable parts, right? So many different things. And I was a little concerned that they did not, and I know that they need time to gel, but is it me, or did they just look like their energy was lacking in the first 4 games?
Yeah, definitely a super disappointing start to the season here. And I mean, I think the wind was taken out of the sails for this team a lot, just based on the Paul George injury. I don't think that was ever a part of the plan or expectation. That the Joel stuff has been going on, but I do think Paul George getting hurt in the preseason did add an extra layer to it. What I think is so unique about the Sixers when compared to other NBA teams is when you're actually building out a roster and thinking, what is the best way to maximize this team? That question is drastically different for whether or not Joel Embiid is on the floor. So when you think of a player like Eric Gordon, for example, you see the clear fit for what he can bring to a team when playing next to Joel Embiid, that he's going to knock down, catch and shoot threes. He's going to be a guy who can attack a little bit off the dribble. But when you take Joel Embiid off the floor, you see the limitations in a guy like Eric Gordon's game. So I think we're seeing a lot of these pieces not able to scale up in their role in the way that you hoped. And I will say that I've been disappointed in some of that. Andre Drummond, as much as I love him, hasn't been this, standout starting caliber center the way that he's marketed himself, the best rebounder of all time, the way that he proclaims. A guy like Caleb Martin, I personally thought would be capable of scaling up in a way that we have not seen through the first 5 games here. So there's definitely reason to be concerned with the Sixers team through the start, but I am optimistic that now with Paul George back, and of course the big fella looking on, that hopefully things start to turn in the right direction.
Yeah, man. Listen, you mentioned guys like Eric Gordon, Caleb Martin, which I think is a fantastic point, because I expected these guys to come in, and I mean, we're not talking about young guys, right? I mean, we're talking about guys that have been around for a little while, and let me ask you, I thought Reggie Jackson was going to get more clock. Is it like what's like he's the better one out of all of them, in my opinion, but he seems like he's getting the least playing time. Do you know if there's any reason for that?
Yeah, it's interesting. I know the Denver Nuggets fan base were pretty vocal about him being pretty washed up last year and not playing a ton of minutes. So it could be the end of the life. I've been a Reggie Jackson guy throughout his career, so I personally would like to see that with my own eyes before I make that call. He got the brief stint where we had the ups and downs, the Reggie Jackson experience. His first possession dribbled off his foot, getting a backcourt, and then he knocks down a 3 on the next one. So there are the ups and downs with it. I think more so than anything is there's a lot of guards on this team and not a lot of like forwards and big men. So it's been tough for him to kind of distinguish himself from guys like Kyle Lowry, Jared McCain, and all these type of guys. McCain's a guy I think has been a bright spot through the early couple games. So I don't know. I think eventually Reggie will have his games, but I agree with you that I've been disappointed we haven't seen it just yet.
Yeah, I mean, listen, my man Al checking in says, he's experimenting. That's what Nurse does in the beginning of the season. And again, I get it. I completely understand, but at the same time, man, Al also says shooting from the field and from 3 has been awful so far, but the piece will fit a lot better when PG and JoJo come back. And I get it, right? I think we all know that. But the thing is, though, we were told that this is the deepest team we've ever seen, right? And and the one thing that just scares me is all this off the court baggage. And I'm not talking, I don't want to talk about that specifically, but just saying that, it's taken away from a lot of different things. And eventually, I see if you agree with this, I feel like it's going to wear on these players a little bit. And not only are they pressing now because they don't have their superstars, but now they got to worry about all this off the court nonsense as well.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think the slow start has only magnified that. I think there probably would be a little bit different tone with a lot of this stuff if the Sixers are sitting at 3-2 right now and playing good basketball. That is not the case. They've been bad on the court, and there obviously is all the baggage. Now, I've had issue with kind of how the Sixers have handled the Joel Embiid stuff throughout this entire process. That I think a lot of like the conflict and the lingering issues could have been very much avoided if there was just some more clear-cut answers and handling things in a different way. To me, like the issues have been way more about the how than the what in the situation for what's going on. But it has been a frustrating start to the season. And I'll specifically say that heading into this year, I thought we were in store for possibly the most normal Sixers season really in the Joel Embiid era. That there's been so much drama these past couple of years when you think back towards the Ben Simmons situation, the James Harden situation, all these other like weird kind of trade situations or other behind the scenes stuff that has gone on. It felt like we might be in store for a normal basketball year. And then right away, it proven not to be the case. So definitely frustrating. I think it's magnified by the slow start. And obviously, hopefully that once everybody returns to the floor, the story starts to change.
Yeah, man. I hope you are right again. We're talking to my man Sean Bernard, Sixers NBA insider from Fox Sports The Gambler, Sixers Phillies Digest just started up, and Content DK Network, and obviously the founder of at Pick Swap Media. Now, Sean, let me ask you: when these guys are all healthy, in your opinion, what is the starting lineup? Like, what do you think the eventual starting lineup will be from an all healthy Philadelphia 76ers team?
Yeah, my guess would be Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid, obviously headlining things there. And I think the two around them will likely be Caleb Martin for sure. And then Kelly Oubre seems to be the guy that's trending towards that spot. I see the appeal from like an athleticism and size standpoint. It would not shock me if when it's all said and done that Eric Gordon wins that spot just from like a clear role fit there. So I think they'll experiment with both. I personally probably lean towards liking Oubre a little bit more off the bench and having Gordon as just kind of that solid guy who can play his role. So I'll probably lock in that as my answer as Maxey, Gordon, Caleb Martin, Paul George, and Joel Embiid.
See, and that's the only thing that I hate. And maybe I'm being a hater here, but it's like, you have this team, and now you're going to have this 12-year veteran. It's almost like overusing Kyle Lowry again, right? Like we're going back to the same thing. And I get it; it's just kind of the way it works. But do you ever see, a point in the season if one of the younger guys, like a Jared McCain or maybe a Ricky Council, kind of steps into a role like that instead?
Yeah, absolutely. And McCain is a guy that, especially in the short term, like I want to see him right now while they're limited with offensive creation, is at least he's a guy that makes things happen. He runs around out there. He can attack off the dribble. He can shoot. And coming off a 19-point game, that was really impressive. And I get obviously garbage time. You got to take it for what it's worth, that it wasn't in the high stakes of like the high pressure of the game. But the bottom line is 19 points in the NBA is still 19 points in the NBA. So for me, McCain has been a bright spot that I would like to be, unleashed a little bit more. I've been surprised the lack of opportunity for Ricky Council. I thought he would be a guy more pressing for real deal minutes. It felt like he was kind of in line to take this next step, and that hasn't proven to be the case for the first 5 games. Still a ton of season left, so not hitting the panic button there. But yeah, I've been surprised by the lack of opportunity for Ricky for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I was surprised that too. Like I thought he was going to get a lot more clock. I thought, he was going to get a lot, especially now with no PG-13, with no Embiid, you got minutes there and he's just not getting them, which is a little surprising to me. Now, looking forward to tonight. We're going this West Coast trip, right? We're going up against the Suns out in Phoenix. We already know about the Suns and we know about their talent and their players. Let's look at this game, from a Sixers perspective. What do they have to do to be able to walk away with a win in this game?
Yeah, I mean, getting Paul George back is going to help in a major way. And like Tyrese Maxey is a guy who I still have the utmost in belief in, and I think everyone has, but there's been a lot of Tyrese Maxey ball. And just through the first 5 games of the season that the Sixers have played, he's leading the entire NBA in shot attempts with 26 per game, shooting below 40% from the field. That's the stuff that just having another guy on the court that's capable of doing those things in Paul George is going to be a huge deal there. Now, for this matchup specifically, Ryan Dunn is a name that Sixers fans are going to want to get familiar with before this game because he's going to be everywhere on this Suns team. Guy out of Virginia who had some real deal shooting concerns coming in, which is why he dropped in the draft. But like clear-cut top 10 perimeter defender in the NBA right away and is shooting at a high level. So he started the last 2 games for Phoenix. I kind of expect that to be the case tonight as well. He'll probably get tasked with guarding Tyrese Maxey, and I think honestly we'll give Tyrese some trouble for stretches here. So their perimeter defense is going to be a bit of an issue with Ryan Dunn headlining that. They got to get just some more offense from somebody. So whether that is Kelly Oubre stepping up a little more, Caleb Martin getting hot, Obviously, having Paul George will help, but I do think there'll be a bit of a minutes restriction there. So really just generating offense. They're last in the league in 3-point percentage. There hasn't been any real go-tos for this offense. So offensively is where everything circles back to for me.
Yeah, listen, and I know we're talking Sixers here, but you have a really good, talented team on the other side, in Phoenix. And listen, again, new coach Mike Budenholzer, who's been around, he's got him going off, he's got him playing well. Bradley Beal is actually playing well, right? You have guys in better positions this year. Do you think this is what the Phoenix Suns actually need to get to that next step?
Yeah, I think they've looked far better this year than last year. Off to a 5-1 start. I think Tyus Jones was a great addition, just having like a true point guard, a guy that can run the show, allow guys like Booker and Kevin Durant to play off ball. I thought honestly it was a bit of a disservice to Booker last year, forcing him to play on ball as much as he could. That like, yes, he's capable and can be a playmaker when he's asked to, but when you want to maximize him as a player, you got to let that man score the rock and move off ball. And they're giving him that opportunity this year. So the ball movement's been far better as a team. I think they look way more on the same page. That the chemistry is pretty night and day different from last year. So for me, I would all the kind of, I guess, judgment of how bad the Suns were not living up to expectations last year, wipe the slate clean because they do look different this season.
I like it, man. I like it. Now, looking around the NBA, man, you got the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know what's going on out there, man. Just not looking good. I want to talk about, surprise teams, man, because here's the thing. It's funny. I know you follow a lot closer than I do. Again, we're talking to Sean Bernard, talking Sixers right here, Sixers Insider for Fox Sports The Gambler. Make sure you're giving him a follow on X at Sean_Bernard1. You see it right there up on the screen. And I was watching a lot of national shows, and not a lot of people had the Sixers in their top 4 in the East. And a lot of people had Cleveland up there, rightfully so. Cleveland, right? Anybody hotter right now, right? They look unbelievable. But I feel, it stinks, man. And you're an NBA fan just like me. And to see Paolo go down, man, for Orlando, that was one of my favorite. I was like, oh man, this is great. They start off and then boom. So do you think that the national media, was right to be like, look, the Sixers aren't a top 4 team, or you think they're just getting it wrong?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to end as a top 4 seed in the East, but I think they're absolutely a top 4 contender in the East. They're threading the needle, trying to do this dance of making sure you're through the regular season healthy and giving your best chance at a healthy playoff run. That's going to be the story with Joel Embiid for the rest of his career. It's unfortunate that you kind of don't have the freedom to roll him out there for 70 games a season the way some of their stars can, but that's the bargain that you make when you have a talent of his caliber. And Paul George has dealt with similar issues. So I think the Sixers are going to be very calculated and careful throughout the regular season, as annoying that is to most of the fans out there trying to watch on a nightly basis. So I guess I still believe they're absolutely a top 4 contender in the East. I still think they should be the second favorite in the East behind Boston when everything's fully constructed, but they are a theoretical team at this point. We haven't seen them on the floor, the trio together yet, the big 3 of the Sixers team. So it's going to be a journey, but I do think people will count them out a little bit more than should be the case when everything's said and done.
Yeah, I think everybody just automatically, gravitated, towards the New York Knicks when they made the deal for Cat. And I'm not a huge Cat guy, but I just think that they, in my opinion, the Knicks, they just completely, took away anything they had on the bench as far as depth. And I just think that they are one bad injury away from really losing some traction. Now, when you talk about the West, man, you look at a lot more, obviously, like it always is, right? But you look at the Memphis Grizzlies, Jaws back. You look at, Golden State, who I'm shocked is are 5-1, and they're supposed to be like a rebuilding team, but OKC, man, OKC is this team finally for watch them last year, young team, tons of talent. Chet Holmgren looks unbelievable this year. Is this team legit, man?
Yeah, I think they're absolutely legit, and I think they should be the Western Conference favorite. They've got 11 guys deep that would be for sure borderline starting caliber, absolutely rotation players on any team, and you got to think that's going to be cut down come playoff time there. And I think watching them specifically, what fires me up about that team is you see how personally each of these guys take things on the defensive end. There will be the turnaround, pumping the chest, hitting yourself after getting a stop in a way that you just don't see that on your average regular NBA night. So the team's deep. They got the top end talent. I do think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is that level of dude that can be a 1A on a championship team. I do think Chet Holmgren's taking that next step. Guys like Jalen Williams are very legitimate and guys that are still getting better. So they got everything, every box checked, and still the assets to make more moves if they do see a missing piece out there. And by the way, Hartenstein hasn't even played yet, but he's still out for an extended period of time. So I do think OKC is the real deal by every definition.
No, you're absolutely right. Hold on. So go ahead, bro. You got one more.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. Everybody's had that ludicrous woman who's got one bitch. She's my wife. I love her for 25 fucking years. And she's fucking crazy. She's all over fucking Harris. And I love Trump, but she's no fucking bitch.
All right.
Right now.
Yo, he's cut off. All right. Oh, yeah, you're cut off. All right, Sean. Sorry. Yo, tell him, man. He's cut off. Never know what's going to happen here, Sean. So I'll tell you. Never know what's going to happen here. Man, this is the bar captain here, Brian, man. No, Al says SGA should have won MVP last year. I completely agree. But do you think he has a good case to win this year?
Yeah, definitely. And I've seen Luka Doncic has climbed to the betting favorite right now for MVP. I think it probably comes down to those two, although I will point out, like, I've never been the biggest Nikola Jokic guy in the world, but I think there's more on his plate this season than we've seen from him in past years. So that'll be a name to watch as well, even though he's already got 3 in the bank. I would have liked to see SGA win it last year. He's absolutely going to be in the mix. And I think if OKC runs away with the top seed in the West, it's a pretty strong argument for giving it to him. So, yeah, I will be rooting for SGA to win the award, but I think it probably comes down to a 3-horse race between him, Luka, and Jokic.
One thing's for sure, man. The NBA is in a good place, man. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's the thing. The NBA is in a good place, and that's what I love. Now, I will say this, man. Like, I watched that opening game with Boston, and I came away from that game, Sean, and I was like, wow. Like, I'm excited because we're Sixers guys and we have this new identity. But man, watching that team, bro, they are so good defensively, and then the way they're shooting a rock, like I don't even know how we get past that, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. They're absolutely the title favorites, and a team like. You think typically a championship team is ready to take a step back. They've got every bit of bulletin board material they could possibly want to keep going hard. And when you talk about the 3-point shooting, like Boston last year attempted 42 3-point attempts per game, which led the entire NBA. It's a whole 3-point revolution this year that there's 5 teams in the NBA attempting more than that, including Boston attempting 50.3. So after leading the NBA in 3-point attempts last year, they're attempting 8 more 3-point attempts per game. So pretty ridiculous stuff on what they're doing, but they know their identity and they do it on both sides of the ball. So they absolutely should be the title favorites.
Now I gotta ask you, man. I know we're talking basketball, but we got a Monday Night Football game tonight, man. Looking at this game, man. Changed direction here a little bit. Can they give the first loss to Kansas City? I don't see how that happens, man. I can't see them taking this game. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I don't think so either. That as much as I do like this Tampa Bay team, I do think the injuries to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin too much to overcome there. And I mean, Patrick Mahomes has yet to play his best football in the season, which is a scary thought considering they are 7-0 and he's still in the MVP mix. So I expect big things, and it wouldn't shock me if this turns into a relative blowout for Kansas City tonight. Yeah,
I agree, man. What you just said is the perfect point, man. Patrick Mahomes hasn't even played like Patrick Mahomes, man. It's just so crazy. Do you have any bets for tonight?
I did write a couple up on DraftKings today. Patrick Mahomes passing prop at 249.5 is one that I like quite a bit. I think laying the -9 for Kansas City, I have no problem with that. That I do think this one heads toward blowout territory. And I will say I'm getting in on the Paul George vibes at 17.5. I am a little bit worried about the minutes limit, but I do think that 17.5, he's averaged more than that for the past 10 years of the NBA. That's not a lot for Paul George, and even in limited minutes, there's such a desperate need for offense in the Sixers offense that I think he lets it fly.
I agree, man. I think even if he is on a minutes restriction, it comes to the fact that he starts feeling good. He's like, nah, coach, I'm good. Like, let me play some more, especially when you're playing against, your counterparts over there, like KD and Devin Booker, like, those guys, they all talk and they talk it up. So I agree. But hey, look, Sean, man, I'm going to let you go as always, man. I greatly appreciate you coming on this live remote. What do you got going on this week? Let everybody know. Again, they can follow you at Sean_Bernard1. And I want to make a quick point that I'll tell you what, man, that Phillies digest that you and it's Luke, right?
Yep, Luke Arcani.
Yeah. Dude, that thing's fantastic. You guys just started that, right?
Yeah, just a couple months ago. So we did it right before the Phillies playoff run, and we'll actually be jumping on at 10 o'clock tonight, recording a couple videos for that. So there'll be some new content coming out on there, and doing the same thing over on Sixers Digest. So I'm hoping in the coming weeks we'll be shifted to a little bit more actual basketball talk rather than everything else that's been going on with the Sixers team. But I'll take whatever they give me.
Awesome, man. Sean, I appreciate it, brother. I can't wait to have you back on, man. Good luck and everything. And again, yeah, Al says I follow him on Twitter. It's a good follow. Yes, he is at Sean_Bernard. Well, man, Sean, have a great night, buddy. I appreciate it.
Absolutely appreciate you having me, Tony, and I would love to hop on again soon.
Oh, you will, brother. You will. We appreciate it. That's my man, Sean Bernard from Fox Sports, The Gambler, DraftKings, Pick Swap Media. My man does it all, man. You heard him. Sixers, Phillies, Digest as well. Listen, man, they're like I tell everybody, if you just pay attention to just the national people and the popular, like you're missing out on some fantastic content creators and insiders that are out there. Sean is unbelievable, man. They got themselves a gem over there at Fox Sports, The Gambler. And as always, we're going to take a 5-minute break and we're going to come back with some Phillies talk. With Jimmy Mack again, because there's been some trade rumors out there talking about maybe Nick Castellanos, Alec Bohm, Brandon Marsh. Can we see a change of the card for the Phillies? And will Juan Soto get a $700 million deal? $700 million. Will he get it? We'll be right back here in 5 right here from Pike's Pub in Southampton. And what's up, everybody? We are back. We were just talking some good Sixers talk from my man Sean Bernard, who had again, dude does everything. Make sure you're following him on X at Sean_Bernard1. Does a fantastic job talking all things NBA and NFL. But we're going to switch course a little bit tonight, and we're going to get into a little Phillies talk because, again, like we try to go all over the map here, not just Philly, but all national. But when there's stories out there, I like to cover them. And today we talked about some trade opportunities came out that it looks like the Phillies may be shopping a few players. And the question is, man, could again, it was Bohm, it was Marsh, it was Castellanos. So I want to ask my man Jimmy over here, man, like, could the Phillies trade Nick Castellanos, and why would they trade Nick Castellanos?
So obviously anyone could be traded, as long as there's a no trade clause, and Nick does not have one of those. But I would have said coming out of last year, if you were going to trade Nick after his disappointing NLCS, that it would be more likely you trade him then with more years on the contract. He's only got 2 years left, on his deal. He's at $20 million. He's done a pretty good job of earning the money. He plays, he's never going to win a Gold Glove, but he plays a solid right field. He catches everything he gets to. He's got a pretty good arm, not a great arm, but a pretty good arm, and it's pretty accurate. So I would say it would, obviously, if somebody gives you a good offer, then you have to listen.
100%.
And from what I heard too is that they're taking calls, they're not making calls. So
they're taking, so not making.
Exactly. So it's a little different,
right?
I think I think they know they don't have to move Nick. They're not actively shopping him, but if somebody comes in and thinks, hey, he's a piece that we want to pursue, and we're going to offer fair market value, then yeah, the Phillies should listen. But of the three names that were mentioned, which was Castellanos, Bohm, and Marsh, I think that Castellanos would be probably the least likely of the three to generate a ton of interest because he is being paid at market value.
Right.
And he's the oldest of the three. So he's not going to help a younger team.
I think he would be more like a trade deadline kind of move to like a contending team that was looking for somebody. But I think it's Bohm. I think, we were talking, Christian was talking, I know you were talking, I was talking. I mean, he's got the most value, man, right?
He absolutely has the most value, but it might not be the right time for the Phillies to trade him because, as I said to Christian when he brought it up, so we trade Bohm, who plays third base. We don't have an everyday third baseman on the roster or one in the minors ready to come up yet. So Aiden Miller might be that guy in 2026. He's not that guy in 2025. So, you'd almost have to either get a stopgap. Is there a 1 year free agent available? Would you put Justin Turner there? Because I think he's probably available. But I think he didn't play too much third base the last year or two because, he's getting towards the end of his career.
Right.
So, so I'd have to look harder into that. Like what would the options be? But my thought would be, Bohm is a guy he's going to make about $8 million in the arbitration process this year. He's ascending. He's improved the last 2 years. This year he was having a great year until he hurt his hand.
Yep.
Offensively, and defensively he's been pretty solid. I mean, he's never going to win a Gold Glove, but he's worked pretty hard on his D, and he's not going to kill you out there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now, Adam says Philly signed Devin Sweet from the Tigers for Cat. I don't even know who
these are minor guys. They made a few roster moves today, and they outrighted guys like Colby Allard and I saw that. So there's a few guys at the tail end of our roster were let go today, and then they signed a few guys. That guy from Detroit, I think, and then two other guys I think were added to the 40-man roster. But again, none of these people are guys that are probably going to see the 25-man roster or 26-man roster next year.
See, now I may be in a minority here, man, but I don't want to let go of Alec Bohm, man. Like I know people are upset about his attitude, and they were upset, like, maybe he's not mature enough, but he's still a young kid, man. Like, with a ton of talent. Like, I'm not ready to let go Alpo, man.
No, I'm not either. Unless you give me a better viable option,
Right.
then you're keeping him.
Although, let me ask you this, not to cut
Sure.
you off, but now that I'm thinking, because you mentioned arbitration this year. So maybe, obviously, we're not going to be able to afford Alpo, right?
Well,
now, if we were to trade, how many years does he have left?
2. So it's this year and next year. And, that when I project him out,
Okay.
I think, he's a bargain at 8 million this year. Next year, if let's just say he's 14 million, 15 million, to me, that you still, if Miller's not ready, you still keep him. And then you let him walk as a free agent because he is not worth big money.
No.
So when he hits the free agent market, he's probably going to get offers that you do not want to pay him at.
See,
and
that's why I keep thinking this would be the year you would have to trade him at the most value because he's not a rental.
So you're right. To optimize
the
value, yes. But, you're hurting yourself if you do that. So you optimize probably minor league assets. You're trying to win now.
Yes.
So you'd weaken the major league team to get better assets, and that doesn't, that equation doesn't really make sense for the 2025 Phillies.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Again, talking Phillies right here with my man Jimmy Mack, live from Pike's Pub. This Pike Pub is live. Tony Cutillo show here, 455 2nd Street Pike in Southampton. Come on down. We're gonna also get ready for Monday Night Football action as well. Got the big game, the 7-0 Kansas City Chiefs taking on those pesky Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Jimmy, looking at this whole Juan Soto thing we talked about last week, you made some really good points. And again, if you're not following my man Jimmy Mack, I'll throw his stuff out there. Make sure he gets in these Phillies groups and he puts some really good information out there. We were talking about 600 million, and now the numbers are coming to 700 million, right? And we know it's Scott Barr, super agent, right? So he wants to maximize. It's going to be like, I want this guy to set the market, man. Is $700 million, is that really realistic?
I don't think he gets 700 million, but I think there's 2 reasons for that. Number one, Ohtani got 700 million because he deferred so much money.
That's true.
He deferred 680 million. So his net present value of his deal is, for CBT purposes, is almost 47 million. My guess is Soto gets that 47 million because he's if he defers money, it'll be a fraction of what Ohtani deferred. So my guess is, he probably gets I think last week I said, just for numbers, I was throwing around 12 years, 600 million. And, that kind of ballpark makes a lot of sense. It makes sense for Soto because he's the highest paid player in an AAV standpoint.
Yep.
Soto is a unicorn. So they said that about last year about Ohtani, and Ohtani's a unicorn because he pitches and he hits and he's great at both. Well, Soto's a unicorn in the standpoint of he's hitting the free agent market before his age 26 season. So free agency's been in place for almost 50 years. He's the 7th player to hit the market at that age.
Seventh player?
7th in the history of free agency. Yeah. So 2 of them are in the Hall of Fame, Adrian Beltre and Goose Gossage. That was the
Goose Gossage.
Yes.
Wow. I remember Goose.
Yep.
Wow.
One would be in the Hall of Fame if it wasn't for steroids, and that's A-Royd.
A-Royd. I like how you said. I like A-Rod, man.
Listen, he was fun to watch, but obviously he was enhanced.
I agree.
And then 2 others will be, and that's they're certainly on Hall of Fame trajectories, and that's Bryce Harper and Manny Machado.
Yep.
And the 6th is the outlier. So it was Jason Hayward.
Jason Hayward from the Braves.
He came up as a 19-year-old, hit free agency. The Cubs gave him way too much money.
Yes, they did.
Because he's the outlier, not only from a contract standpoint, but also from a talent standpoint. Every single one of those other guys, they were stars.
Yes.
Hayward was just a good player.
I like that. He wasn't even above average.
Exactly.
He was just a good player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he regressed after he signed the big deal.
Yes.
So it made it even worse than it was to begin with. But that's really, Soto, I looked, last I looked at it, last week we looked at kind of the Phillies financial situation and what Soto's looking for, and that, hey, that money can work in the Phillies payroll.
It definitely can. You laid it out perfectly, man.
So this week I decided just to look at his hitter profile. So we all can look up his numbers very easily as far as home runs, RBIs, things like that, batting average. But I decided to say, hey, I'm a mixture between old school and new school. So I like looking at the analytics, but I don't use it as my be all end all.
I like that.
But looking at analytics, he becomes the best player on the best hitter on the Phillies team right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
If you look at his barrel percentage, 99th percentile in the league. You look at his average exit velo, 98th percentage in the league. You look at his hard hit percentage, 99th percentage in the league. You look at his bat speed, 94th percentile. His chase rate, 98th percentile, which is what the Phillies really need. They need that guy who's going to make pitchers work.
Yes.
And they're not going to go fishing.
Work the count, man. Work the count. Damn it.
If you look at his K rate, it's his 79th percentile. So he strikes out incredibly few times for a power hitter. And if you look at his what am I missing here? His walk rate. So his walk rate, 100th percentile. The only player in the league that walked more than him was Judge. So, he is an offensive player. He's like RoboCop. There's really no weakness. He becomes the Phillies' best player, hitter, which means that everybody else in the lineup improves because Trey Turner's now your third or fourth best hitter, depending on how you feel about Schwarber. Harper becomes your second best hitter, and now Castellanos and Bohm are like fighting for sixth. Probably like fifth, sixth, seventh. Something that's insane. You're going to make pitchers are going to wear out just thinking about getting through the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you instantly take Nick Castellanos and Al Bohm, like you were saying, and now there's no more pressure for them. It's like, they're just kind of like guys,
exactly.
And that's scary. I mean, Nick Castellanos was one of the best players in baseball for the second half of the season. I mean, so that is now if let's just live in a crystal ball here, right? And we were to sign. So like, what does this lineup look like, man? Like, what do you think this lineup would look like with Juan Soto in it?
It'll be insane. If Soto's the only main man replaced, if he's the only new addition,
like say he's the only new addition.
Yeah. So, I think in that case, Schwarber still has to lead off. You put Turner second. You put probably Soto third, Harper fourth, and then I don't know if I would go Bohm fifth or Castellanos fifth. I think it depends on your. I'd probably have to look at numbers a little bit, but the only downside to Soto is he's a lefty,
right?
So then you'd have
another lefty.
Third and fourth would be lefties. Yep. So
you got Bryson Stott as a lefty. You got a lot of lefties, man.
Exactly, but Stott, of course, would probably be your eighth hitter in this. In this situation.
It's crazy, man. I didn't even, the crazy thing is, like, I didn't even think that this was even an option. Like, literally, until I spoke to you, and then you brought up the numbers, and I've been getting more and more excited over it ever since then, because I'm like, wow, this is legit.
Yeah.
Like, this is real. Can we really sign Juan Soto? And now looking at the way this World Series panned out, and looking at what happened with Aaron Judge not being productive, and obviously Yankees losing, and you see the vision of Juan Soto just sitting there. Do you think that means it's more likely that he leaves New York because of that?
I do, actually. I mean, I do too. The fact that sitting in his locker immediately after the World Series, and the reporters are throwing him questions, hoping that he will say, hey, I want to stay in New York, or I really enjoyed my time. He didn't say any of that.
Yes, you're right. He did not.
He said, hey, I'm open to all 30 teams.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So, I think he's a Boris client.
Yep.
He's been well versed in what to say or what not to say.
Oh, definitely.
I think he's definitely going to hit the market as a true free agent. And, he knows the way everybody else knows that, they saw that Yankees lineup and really it's like, hey, you get by 3 and 4, there's not much there. There's not much to be afraid of. And, the Dodgers, even with their decimated pitching staff, did a pretty good job of navigating that lineup. With
Crazy.
2 of the best hitters, 2 of the top 4 hitters in all of baseball last year were in the Yankees lineup, and they went out in 5.
It's not now. I just saw the other day that they Anthony Rizzo they declined his option, right?
Yep.
So the Yankees are going to change a little bit, and again, like what do you think? Aaron Judge, was he? You get to a point where we've watched this all before, that sometimes when things don't work out your way, you start to press and it gets worse, and it's kind of like a domino effect, right? But he never was able to turn it around. This is something that I think stays with him all off season, that he's really going to have to battle through next year.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely going to be interesting. It's interesting to see how he bounces back. One other thing, on the way over here today, driving over, listening to MLB radio.
I love MLB radio.
Garrett Cole, of course, opted out of his deal.
I saw that.
Everybody thought it was pretty much automatic. The Yankees have the ability to void the opt-out simply by giving him 1 extra year at $36 million. Well, the deadline is probably right around now. As of an hour and a half ago, when I'm driving in, Jim Duquette, former GM, it was a guest of the show.
Baltimore, right? He was at Baltimore, I think.
In the Mets too, I believe.
Yeah, he got around. He was good.
So he was saying it's kind of interesting that the Yankees haven't just announced that yet. Everybody thought it was a slam dunk.
Yep.
But they haven't, coming up pretty close to the deadline. So maybe that's happened while we've been sitting here. Maybe the Yankees have given him the extra year and voided the opt-out. But again, interesting thought, and it would certainly change the perception that Soto might have of their ability to win next year if they lose their ace.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, and again, here you go. Right. Let's see. I'll look it up. That's the best thing about, they need to make G, what is it? RRI.
Yep.
All right.
Might be just 1 2.
Oh man, nothing. Nothing. So we don't know, man. Like, again, and that, like you said, here we go. Garrett Cole, Yankees. I'm opting out. Want the extra exercise. It says fail. Oh, there you go. 3 minutes ago.
Wow.
Fail to meet the extension, but Ace will remain in Bronx, it says.
Oh, interesting. So he just said, forget it then. I'll just honor the original contract.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is. It says Yankees finally made Garrett Cole decision after opt-out. Yeah. It says, so basically the Yankees asked Garrett Cole if they can restructure the deal so they can re-sign Juan Soto. So
that doesn't bode well if they need other players to.
Yeah,
this is the New York Yankees.
Exactly.
And now they're saying, "Hey, we're crying poor. Garrett, can you take less?"
That's weird.
Yeah, that is.
Let me ask you some general question here, talking about the Yankees and just general baseball, because you're a really good baseball guy. Giancarlo Stanton, watching him, and obviously we watched him with the Miami Marlins, and obviously now with the Yankees. And watching how dominant he can be. Now, he's had a very injury-riddled career, right? Yeah. But is he one of those guys that isn't talked about enough as being so damn dominant in the game? In your opinion?
So absolutely. I think,
because I never hear him talked about, like, ever, right?
Well, he's been hurt so much the last several years. And it, it makes sense. I mean, he's mid-30s now. He's got one of the hardest swings. I talked about Juan Soto's, swings, bat speed, exit velocity wise and bat speed wise, Stanton's always in the top 1 or 2 in the league.
Unbelievable.
And I could just imagine what that does to your lats when you're
that's true,
mid-30s and you're trying to maintain your dominance. I think that's where he's had a lot of breakdowns. It's just his body can't. I wonder if Harper's going to see some of that in the next few years.
Because of how violent he swings.
Exactly.
I agree, man.
So
I agree.
But Stanton's had a great career. I think there's a very good chance he makes the Hall of Fame if he stays healthy for another season or two. If he gets 500 home runs, I think he's almost a lock, even though he hasn't been a fantastic hitter. He's just been a power guy, more than a hitter.
Yes.
But he's got a pretty good chance of making the Hall if he can get over 500 home runs.
Ain't that crazy, man? Like it's like he's one of the guys that I grew up watching, and obviously because he was in the NL East, but a guy that just he's one of those physical specimens that's just like intimidating, right? You're like looking at it like, wow, look at, like, he just has to touch a ball and it goes 500 feet, like very, very easy. And a lot of times I think we take those kind of players for granted. But I do think that, getting back to the Phillies a little bit, I'm very, very interested to see what they do from a pitching perspective, especially with the bullpen. And we talked about that, because, they talked about who was the guy that they signed. They just signed a pitcher. Kind of reminded me of the Turnbull signing. They just signed somebody, hasn't pitched in 2 years, but you're coming back. You're right.
I'm playing, and that's my guess is they're going to take a flyer on a couple of those guys,
which they should.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no reason to do more than that.
Right.
They've got 4 guys that, if they stay healthy, are going to be there 1 through 4.
Yep.
They've got Painter that'll come up at some point in the season.
Yep.
And he'll be the number 5. And you just need a couple depth guys then, kind of like a Turnbull last year, who can fill in if there's injuries. There's one guy who's probably not going to get a lot of attention in free agency, with all the names that are out there, but Nick Martinez. San Diego, and he was with the Reds, I think, last season.
Okay.
So he's kind of a swing guy. So almost like, how Strom was with us when his first year here, where he started as the 5th starter because there was injury issues, and then he transitioned to the bullpen.
Okay.
Martinez has been that kind of guy the last 2 seasons, and he's done a really good job. He's not overpowering, but he's pitched to a mid-3 ERA as a starter, and then better than that when he was in the pen. So I think that's a guy you could look at maybe signing, as saying, hey, as a guy who can strengthen the bullpen but also be available to start, especially early in the year. If you want to keep Painter in the minors longer, and you don't want to throw Walker out there every 5th game.
Please.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
Exactly.
There's got to be there's got to be something better. And I like that. I like that. Yeah.
A guy like Nick Martinez could fill that role and not break the bank.
I like that. And again, that's going to be the key, right? You don't need to sign that big guy. And again, I know everybody says, I don't care, it's not my money, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, right, we still want to make sure that we put the best team together, obviously. But this is going to be, so let me ask you, because winter meetings, right? They start, when do they start?
They're usually early December. So
okay.
We'll probably have about a month before the winter meetings.
Because that's when the trade starts talking,
exactly.
And the free agency, the agents meet, right? Stuff like that.
Yep. Today I'd say really kicks things off, because everybody had to make their offers for who gets the qualifying offer.
Okay.
Everybody has to, if you were going to opt out, you had to make your decisions today. And today's the first day you can sign a free agent.
Oh, today's, okay.
Yeah. So, really things start today, but as we heard the breaking news that, Phillies are taking calls on 3 guys. This is all the legwork that the GMs are doing prior to, meeting face-to-face in December.
Good night. Have a good one. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, listen, man, this is going to be a very interesting offseason, to say the least. And I think a lot of it is just suspense, meaning, like, what is going through their head? What are they going to do? Do they feel like they need this giant move? Are they, are they really going to go all in? Like, there's a lot of suspense in this offseason, and probably the most suspense I've seen in a while.
I agree. There's last year was dominated by Ohtani, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This year, I think you have I think it's a little bit deeper at the top. Obviously Soto's the headliner.
Of course, yeah.
But you got Corbin Burns.
Yeah, that's right.
An ace. You've got a few other guys. You got a Bregman who's interesting, but not so much to me. I think he's an older, slightly declining player.
Yeah.
And he's going to look for a deal that would be much longer than the Phillies could give him. So because a lot of people are like, oh, trade Bowman, get Bregman, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't work.
No, it definitely doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want that. I don't want the old aging veteran. I want the young guy, man, who's got a lot to offer. I mean, that's what we want, man. That's what we want.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
And that's where you need to balance the salaries. You need,
Yes.
you need Nathan Miller to step up
Yep.
and take over third base and, give you that league minimum salary for a couple of years to balance the Harpers and the Turners and the hopefully Juan Soto's.
Yeah, hopefully Juan Soto's. We want to see that reunion, man. I want to see that Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, and Juan Soto reunion, man. It's gonna be fun, man. Listen, I'm excited, Jim. I'm excited. I'm really excited. So when do you think if Juan Soto signs, we'll get out of here on this. When do you think it happens?
All right. Well,
that's the question.
Yeah, exactly. When do I think it happens, or when do I hope it happens?
Yeah. Right.
So,
yeah. There you go.
I'll answer both.
Okay.
So I hope it happens prior to let's say prior to mid-December.
Okay.
Because,
wow.
Because really the whole market's going to sit until this happens.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we want interesting and we want suspense, we don't want suspense where nothing happens for 2 months and then we get our answers. So hopefully he signs, opens up the market, by mid-December. I don't see it happening before the winter meetings. I think they're going to want to, Boris is going to want to hold court as he always does there.
Oh yeah.
He's going to want to work face to face with all those GMs and have them bidding against each other. But I'm hoping that, within a week or so after that happens, that, they sit there and sign a deal. I think it's been, kind of bad for baseball, the last several years when you're waiting until March, with good name. I mean, even Harper signed, I think it was the end of February.
It was a while.
And then Machado was like a week after.
It was who was going to set the market first. It was like
exactly.
cat and mouse game. Yep.
Exactly.
I agree.
I don't think that's good for baseball.
No, it's not.
It's better to, break the ice, the log jam early.
Yep.
And, have everybody else trickle down after that. And you have something to talk about, for the entire offseason.
100%, man. I completely agree. So there it is, man. Hopefully in December, we're here at Pike's Pub talking about our new left fielder in Juan Soto. What do you think, Jim?
That's what I'm going for. So is there a prop bet on that, Tony?
Not yet. Not yet, but we're gonna look at that. So I'm sure there's a futures market for that.
Yeah.
For that. But again, we're gonna be back in about 5 minutes. We're gonna bring on my boy Dave Gleckner from SiriusXM. We're gonna break down week 9 in the NFL, and we're gonna do some live look-ins to this NFL Monday Night Football game and possibly a couple Sixers bets as well on the West Coast. So we'll be right back. 5 minutes right here live from Pike's Pub. Back live right here from Pike's Pub, 455 2nd Street Pike, for the final segment of the Tony Cutillo Show right here live on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, you name it, we're everywhere right here. Make sure you're liking and subscribing wherever you're watching from. As always, just talk some sports. My man Jimmy Mack talked about the Juan Soto information, talked about possibly trading Alec Bohm and the Castellanos or Brandon Marsh. We talked about the Joel Embiid incident earlier. We got my man Sean Bernard in previewing the NBA game. But right now, I'm bringing another special guest, my co-host on Sirius XM, my man Dave Gleckner from Win Daily Sports from Sirius XM, and he joins us every week right here live from Pike's Pub. We're going to talk a little NFL. We're going to talk a little NBA. My man Dave, what's going on, brother?
The Tony Cutillo Show. I love it. I love it. I love the intro. I love the name, the video, man. You made it big.
I don't know about that, but
to me, you did.
You know, hey man, I'm trying. Brothers trying, man. You know what I mean? Like, I got to give a shout out, like I always say, to the music from my boy Jeff Iatarola, my Tacconi brother, and my girl Chrissy Pressman, who did a fantastic job. 4K AI, Dave. She did that all on her own, man. Like, she said, "What do you want?" And I said, "Look, man, I want something with like a train going from cold to fire." And that's what she came up with, man. I thought she killed it, man. I thought she killed it.
It is awesome, man. I love it, and I'm pumped to be here tonight. You got the great things going on, but you know we're looking good in Philly right now, and there's a lot to talk about. Obviously, breaking down that game yesterday, but we do have to take away the end result. And the result is we were 6-2 with a chance to be 7-1, maybe 5-3. You know, we could go either way. I think 6-2 is right where we need to be. And in a watered down NFC, if the Eagles play right and stay out of the way of their coach, I mean, I think they're the second best team.
I agree, man. It's crazy though, Dave. How do we get here, man? Like,
I don't know.
right? Like, what the hell is going on? I mean, we were talking about firing a damn coach. We're talking about getting rid of the coach, and now all of a sudden we're 6-2, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, he can still go. I don't care. But so really, what it is, it's as simple as three things: Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, the defense.
Yes.
You can win football games with those three things. That Saquon Barkley move was one of the most, eye-dropping moments in a football game that I've ever had. And, just like not even get hurt from that. I couldn't even imagine trying to even like do that over a little ball on the floor. But this guy went over a 6-foot man jumping backwards. It's a tremendous. AJ Brown's injury came back better today, so that's good. He's a game changer. And then that defense, it's special, Tone. I don't care about a couple drives they let up late. That's Nick's fault in some of it.
Yes.
They shut Jacksonville out for pretty much 3 quarters. The defense is really impressing me.
I'll tell you, man. We talked about it last week, and all it did was it empowered the excitement and the analysis that we had last week, bro. They don't even throw to Q side anymore. They don't even throw to it. He's a rookie, bro. He's shutting everybody down.
First play of the game, I'm like, Q, you're a little off the line a little bit. Let up like maybe an 8-yard. I never heard his name the rest of the game, ever. And that means because they never threw to him. Like you said, one time I saw 27 on my screen. That's it. But his other boy in the draft class, Cooper DeJean, looks like a real one too. I mean, he did it again, chasing people around, making big 4th down plays, big 3rd down plays. He's just an exciting force when, deployed rightly. And, it's funny. We haven't really had a good linebacking duo since maybe Carlos Emmons and Jeremiah Trotter. Like, I'm going back that far. And there they are, Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean. I mean, they got an A in many people's grades yesterday, and I'd be even getting near an A+. They both had an interception. That's what we've always wanted, right? Those hard-hitting, quick, side-to-side linebackers. And it looks like we got them.
You know what, man? It is nuts, man. And again, Zach Bond is that kind of guy. Like it was going to go one of two ways, right? Because we've always had the Zach Bond. We've had the Mark Seminos and like these guys that would just come in and be like, they're going to be okay. But now this dude's like a legit football player, man. Like, and again, man, you just watch. It took a little time, but Fangio just put his stamp all over this defense, Dave, again. And I'll tell you, man, like I still am concerned with the lack of a pass rush.
Yeah.
Like, that still needs to change.
I know that it's a valid point, and one that probably Howie's looking at the trade deadline for, just in case. But it's a valid point, and I know the Broncos just traded one of their, edge rushers out to Arizona, so there's some pieces that could still be made. But I will say I'm a little concerned. But Josh Sweat has picked it up. I got to give him credit. He got in the backfield a few times on some stunts that I thought was impressive. But I thought yesterday was more of, I thought Lawrence just got out of trouble more than I thought the Eagles created enough pressure to take him down. But Lawrence was able to just get out of there just in time. I'm okay, but I agree with you. They just need a more consistent one.
Yo, man, what do you think? Dougie P going after this year?
Oh my God, doesn't he look like Dead Man Walking?
Yeah, he does, dude.
He don't want to be there. They don't want him there.
No.
He's it's a shame because that division, Houston obviously at 6-3 is very good, but you've seen some kind of weaknesses in them with Stephon Diggs now out. Obviously, Nico Collins still, hurt, but might be back in a couple of weeks. And they're down to 6-3, and they have a huge game coming up this weekend against Detroit. So that division was gettable, but he is and the Jags have lost a lot of close games. I give him that, but it's too little, too late. Doug's out. I agree.
Yeah, man. He just, and he looks, Dave, he looks tired.
Yeah.
Like, right. Like I was looking at him on sideline. I forget what play it was. And he just looked, you could tell he just looked exhausted. Like he's ready, man. He's ready.
And I think the most disappointing thing of all of it is that he never turned Trevor Lawrence into a better quarterback. I mean, the guy had, I don't want to call it, the top potential of the last few years, like guys like Caleb have been anointed, and now we're seeing Jaden Daniels. But he was a pedigreed quarterback that was very highly sought after in college and after, won some national championships, and he just hasn't gotten better.
No, man. Listen. You know what, man? I'm not even gonna get into it because I'm not that kind of guy. No, I'm not a T-Law guy. I'm not a Jared Goff guy. But I gotta ask you, man. Like this Detroit team, dude. Like they're very, very powerful, man. And I know, listen again. I'm joined by my man Dave Glecker. You can follow him at DGlock, DGLOECK on X. My fantastic co-host on Sirius XM does a ton of work at Win Daily. As always, where our bets are powered by tonight. And Dave, I know we talked about it with Dan Campbell, right? And we made earlier in the discussion, we talked about, with Nick Sirianni, with him, making the idiotic decisions and stuff like that. And Dan Campbell kind of doing the same thing, but learning from them and changing his role a little bit this year. Looking at that Detroit team, man, like, are they beatable at all, man? Like, they look really good.
It's going to be tough. I mean, that was their first kind of game outdoors this year, and they dominated a previous team, a team that was previously 6-2. And one of their bitter rivals, by the way, at their place in Green Bay type weather. That's as impressive as it comes. I just got to be honest. And it's 24-3 in the fourth quarter. Like that game was never even that close. I mean, a Jordan Love dumb mistake kind of opened it up to get to 17-3, but Amon-Ra St. Brown getting that touchdown. They can beat you in so many different ways. That's what I'm getting at. The defense can score. Amon-Ra's, a red zone problem. And then you got Sonic and Knuckles, and they haven't even dusted off Sam Laporta yet. It's just they're dangerous, man. The only thing you could say is, will Dan Campbell get too stupid? Because we know there will be a point. But now that you're this good, maybe his decisions won't impact them. But maybe it does in the playoffs. And then does the lack of Aiden Hutchinson or that void impact them against a good mobile quarterback? So we'll have to. Those are only two ways I think you can beat Detroit. You're gonna have to beat them in a shootout, I feel.
Yeah, man. I definitely. I agree. I mean, you're going to have to score a lot of points. Yep. They got that great dual running back threat with Montgomery and Gibbs, and it's just endless. It really is. And again, their secondary is legit, like you said. Pass rush could be susceptible now with no Aiden Hutchinson. But I want to ask you something about your boy, man. And I've been waiting to ask you with this whole Anthony Richardson situation. I want to see where you're at with it, because At first it was like, okay, Joe Flacco, he came in, he looked good. He could run the Steichen offense. It looks like that Richardson can't. But at the same time, I'm thinking, this is a young kid. Like, do you really think that Flacco is going to take you to the playoffs? Shouldn't you allow this kid to work through his issues, or do you feel like he's just not fixable, man? What do you think here with Anthony Richardson's situation?
Yeah, you're right. And I will call him my boy. Coming out of the draft, I thought that his unique talent and the things that I heard about him, because I'm always looking at with quarterbacks, there's a lot of arm talent. There's a lot of special, this guy, he can run, some of the others can too. But really, it's that sixth sense. And I heard so many good things about how he was a leader, how he was last one in the gym. So when we got to the point that he tapped himself out because he was tired, it went against everything that I heard about him, because that's not leadership, right? That's somehow, some way, I need a break. I'm not the guy. It's the moment's too much, right? So that got me worried. But then you watch, and all the points you made are valid. I think what they needed to do, they saw what the Flacco experience once again is. That was the least points they've ever scored. It was 6 under Steichen. I think they never got into the red zone. It was the least yards they've had. Yeah. Okay. Now you showed everybody. It was almost like show the media, show the fans. Okay, we'll listen for a minute, but we got to bring him back in. And I think he needs to play.
Yeah, but they came out and said he's starting next week.
Flacco?
Yes. Yeah. I'm really surprised at this, man. I really am. And look, if he does, Dave, then I just think that you have to finish the entire year with Flacco. Like, if you're going to do this, then just finish the year with Flacco, man. Like, seriously, what they did in Carolina looks like it worked a little bit, right? You take Bryce Young out, and now all of a sudden he looks like, okay, take the pressure off the young kid, right? Maybe I'm wrong here, but you know me. I look at things, and I know you do too. But, every time I was watching that game, and number one, why the hell that game was flexed out ridiculous to me. That was the worst football game I've seen in friggin' months, man.
I was asleep. Yeah, right? It put me to sleep.
The only reason why I watched it because I had bets on the damn game, right? Right. That was the only reason why I watched it. But every time they went to the sideline, it number one, Flacco and Richardson weren't even looking at each other. And then they both looked like they were so disinterested in anything going on. Like, it was just really weird to me to see that, because I'm like, do any of these guys even care, man? Like, it's crazy.
It is. But I look back at this, and I can understand, if there's some trust issue and they just got to leave Joe in there. But the right football decisions, Anthony Richardson. I'd go back. Joe Flacco lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He barely beat the Tennessee Titans by 3. Now he's lost to the Vikings. They haven't played better with Joe Flacco at starting. He's 1-2. The Colts beat the Steelers, a pretty darn good team, with Anthony Richardson at quarterback. Now, Flacco did have to come in and sub him, but they were also competitive, and they beat the Bears with Richardson at quarterback. I don't know. I think the team plays a little better with him there. It must be a trust issue right now with the team, because you're seeing it with Derek Carr, right? I'm going to be very curious what they do now that Dennis Allen's out of there. A lot of words, especially from your boy Michael Thomas, which, by the way, I thought was hilarious.
What is going on with that? Came out like nowhere, too, man.
I loved it. I'm not a Derek Carr guy. I thought the way he treated the Las Vegas situation when he got benched and pretty much quit on the team was embarrassing and abysmal. He thought he was better than he was. Escapes to New Orleans and hasn't done much better there. It sounds like it's starting to catch up to him.
It could be, man. He's a limited quarterback. I think we all know that, right?
Yeah.
If he wasn't limited, he'd be playing somewhere, and he wouldn't have been moving, team to team to team. I mean, it's almost like what went on with the Hassan Reddick situation, right? You have a guy who, as a young guy, and for some reason he's on 3 teams in 5 years. I mean, there's got to be a reason for that, right? I mean, you saw it. But looking at week 9 NFL, just going around the league, man. Like, anything surprise you yesterday? I did pick. I thought Miami was going to be the upset to beat Buffalo. Called that on Sirius. By the way, I was happy about that. that I thought that was going to happen. But A-Chain, man, like, like that dude is absolutely legit, man. Like if they use him the right way. But looking at the Buffalo side, I just don't, the offense, Dave. Like now Keon Coleman's hurt. It looks like Amari Cooper didn't play. But I don't see where they're going with this offense, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I was with you. I had Miami as one of our picks on Win Daily Discord. The 6.5, like, let's just from a betting perspective, Miami was a 2.5 point favorite in week 2 or 3 against the Bills. The same team's shaping off 5 weeks later, and it's a 9-point swing. 2 home fields, you could see maybe 6, but like it was way too much, I thought, to swing. So I was with you. And I mean, Miami's a decent team with Tua at quarterback. Yep. They need to fix some things, like you said. A-Chain's been great. They haven't found a way to get Tyreek the ball, which is just
how's that happen?
I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, the guy almost had 2,000 yards last year, and he's going to struggle to get 1,000 this year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's got 446, and they played 8 games, or 9 games now. Oh no, they're 8. It's wild. But yeah, on the Buffalo side, I'll say they're a little surprising from the standpoint of I don't know how they're doing it. I just don't know how they're beating these teams, and in some cases pretty bad, like Seattle and such. I don't see the offensive explosion. I'm like you. I think the yards, I think they got outgained yesterday too, if I remember right. Yeah, Miami outgained them by 50 yards. Yep. They're a little surprising to me. I guess if I looked at the whole week 9 landscape, the one thing I will say, I was surprised. Now, injuries did happen, but that Dallas got handled that easily. I just think the Falcons have really let teams back in games this year. So I was just surprised that they're dying this quick, and I love it. And it's been great. I think they're done. And we know with Dak being out this week. And another one, the Rams are back. I mean, we've always said it. They were a dangerous team. I mean, the Cardinals, yes, have jumped out to the division lead, but the Rams have won 3 straight. Puka, we'll see what happens if he gets suspended. But with him and Cooper Kupp and having that great running back, the Rams are back.
The Rams are, and you know what's funny about that? Like, and again, we're both Sean McVay guys. We've talked about that before. Matthew Stafford, again, and another quarterback that just gets forgotten about, right? They people forget how good Matthew Stafford is. But I'll tell you what, man, Kyron Williams, and we talk everything, right? We talk fantasy, we talk sports betting, we just talk sports in general. But from every perspective, man, this kid is, like every time I turn around, this dude's making a big play, whether it's from the receiving end, whether it's from the running end. And I've said this before, McVay, everybody was so worried about Blake Corum. Stop with the Blake Corum effect, man. That was never happening. This dude is a bell cow. So yeah, like I'm with you, man. Like this is a team. And I heard today, I don't know if you heard too, that there's whispers that they're looking to trade for a tight end. So and the David Njoku name keeps coming up from Cleveland, and I mean, dude, if they get Njoku, man, that's and you can get Puka healthy and Cooper healthy, man, I'll tell you what, man, this could be a team that's going to cause some issues.
Yeah, I mean, Kyron Williams 23 touches to Blake's 1. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. And I love that. That's what it should be. If you got the better player and a guy that is physically able to do that. I hate the running back share unless you have to. But yeah, I mean, listen, if they get that piece, and you can look at it, obviously, like I said, Cardinals out there at 5-4, but this division is wide open. I mean, it might only take 10 to win it. The Rams can smell it, and they have a Super Bowl winning quarterback and coach. Defense is rounding into form a little bit too. They're starting to create a lot more pressure on the quarterback. I know they gave Geno a lot of problems yesterday early on. They ended up sacking him, I think, 7 times. So if you get that defensive pressure and you can play offense the way they do, I think they're dangerous.
I agree, man. I agree. There's a lot of teams, I think, this year that are going to kind of play spoiler, right? I do, because there is a lot of parity in the NFL. I mean, look, how about that play by Drake May yesterday?
Oh my God.
Like, what are the odds, man? Like, I mean, yeah, they lose it in OT, but to get them to OT, right? I mean, it's just unbelievable, man. Like, there was a lot of good football plays yesterday. Capped off with one of the most amazing catches I've ever seen at Devontae Smith.
Yes. Yes. And I was with a friend when that happened, and he thought he was throwing away. I said, no, he was just throwing it to the one place that's either a touchdown or interception. He threw it in the perfect spot and let it rip. And it was so impressive. And Devontae stepped up big, especially as soon as AJ went out. Stepped up. Jahan Dotson had a big catch as soon as AJ went out. They got some really good help from their players yesterday, in spite of that injury to AJ Brown. So, but Devontae's catch was amazing.
I still can't believe he caught it, man. Still can't believe he caught it. Again, talking to my man Dave Gleckner, one of my co-hosts over at Sirius XM on the Win Daily Show. Make sure you're dropping them at windailysports.com. My man's dropping all kinds of content every single day from NBA, NFL. And speaking of NBA, Dave, we got a West Coast game tonight, man. We got the Sixers and the Suns. I had my man Sean Bernard earlier breaking it down a little bit. Obviously, want to hear your thoughts. I'm over talking about the whole Embiid thing. I just want to talk basketball. Look, man, PG-13 comes back tonight. Could possibly on a minute restriction. But looking overall, at this Sixers team, man, I was saying to Sean, I want to see what your thoughts are, but they just have looked, they lack of energy is what I've seen. And I don't know why. I don't know if all this stuff that's going on behind the scenes is kind of like weighing on the team, or, is it affecting Nick Nurse in some kind of way? But what have you seen through these first 4 or 5 games?
Yeah, I saw the effort and energy in the Bucks game, and I did think it resurfaced again in Indiana. But you take the other 3 games, and it's been really bad. I mean, the Pistons came in here and beat up the Sixers, only scoring 95 points against them, being down 19 going in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's not good. It's an embarrassment. I mean, they have enough talent to beat the Pistons without Embiid and PG-13 or PG-8, whatever he is now. But and then the other night Memphis wasn't good either. So I'm with you. It's I feel like there's something circling around, and maybe it was Embiid needed to get that off his chest the other night with his confrontation. Maybe the whole team is going to rally around that. I'm not sure, but I do think Embiid made the trip, this West Coast trip, and now you're seeing Paul George is going to play tonight. So maybe good news along the way. But I will tell you, I mean, 1-4 is as bad as it gets right now. Like, it's a bad start, especially losing to Toronto, losing to the Detroit Pistons. It's not a good slate, but I do have some optimism because I think, like I said, 95 points against Pistons, 107 the other night against Memphis, even though a lot of that was late. Paul George is going to add some offense that I think they desperately need. The shooting has been a big problem.
Shooting's been bad, man. It's been really bad. I mean, the other night, Tyrese Maxey was 5 for 17 from 3. I mean, it's just been atrocious, man. It's crazy. But, I just, I look at this and go, okay, healthy. Looking at this team, just say, look in the crystal ball and say, by the 20th game of the season, we're all healthy, we're all playing. Looking at the East right now, and I said this to Sean, there was a lot of national pundits out there that did not have the Sixers in the top 4 or 5 teams in the East. And I don't know, is that right? Is it not? Is it where what they were basing it on? But looking at Milwaukee, looking like a dreck, man, that situation, that's just ready to blow up. It is, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you see it. We know what's going to happen. I think at the end of the day, we know what's going to happen. New York, they make the big trade with Cat, but again, we talked about that. They have a weak bench now, right? Unfortunately, I hate that Paolo got injured for Orlando. Hopefully we see him sometime back this season. Cleveland, man, Cleveland just balling out. I mean, we already know about Boston, but looking at it, man, where do you see the Sixers falling, bro?
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland's, they got a shot to get 8-0 tonight. They're tied late in the 4th against Milwaukee, and that would put Milwaukee in just a world of hurt, going 1-6. So you're right. There's something about the Milwaukee situation. It's not just the coach. It's more, I mean, we just aren't seeing the mix of Lillard and Giannis, obviously, but just other pieces not fitting in as well. There's a clash coming there. They keep losing. But yeah, I'm going to give Cleveland's going to be better than the Sixers this year. Boston, obviously. And I mean, right now I'm kind of at a pace here. I think New York will hold us off a little bit. That thin bench might hurt them, but there's always moves to be made at the deadline. Like they got Precious last year and some other pieces. No, OG, that's who they got too.
OG, yeah.
So I'll give the Knicks, and I think the Sixers can still surge up around the 4 seed. Don't forget, I mean, Indiana's not playing well, but they were very good last season. I think they can, they'll start picking it up. And Miami's always a force to be reckoned with. So I see the Sixers in that 4-5-6 mix with those three teams. Like you said, Orlando's the sad part because that team, I think they're very talented, but they need an alpha guy, and Paolo was their guy. And that's a shame.
It is, man. It sucks. Like, you look at it and I want to watch good basketball, man. Like I want to watch, and this is the young guy, one of the young guys that was going to, take us to the next step, man. Right. I mean, it's like in the league and, now looking at the Western Conference and again, man, you always look at the West as being a powerhouse and whatnot. But, again, you got Phoenix that's playing really good on Budenholzer. Right, you got the Warriors who are surprising people.
Yes,
right? I mean, it definitely me. I'm sure they surprised you as well. Who would have thought? But like looking at the West, even in Kyrie is, and Luka are playing well together out there. I haven't really paid so much attention to Clay a little bit, but what do you look out West, man?
Yeah, the Golden State thing's real interesting because they're doing it in a way that I never saw. And Steph missed a few games. I think he's back tonight, but
he's back tonight.
Defense, second best defense in the league, second best defensive rating. Like wow. And they're playing like 12 guys a game. Like they're just going out. Everybody's playing about 15, 20 minutes. He's piecing this thing together like crazy. And I give them a lot of credit to come out to the start. OKC is still just wow. They just got they're just beating teams and they're beating them down pretty bad and good ones. They're out on the road winning in Denver. I know they won in Minnesota recently. They won at LA, the Clippers, which was, to me, only reason I say that was a little bit surprising was the Clippers, I think, are 0-4 now at their big place, their new place. So they've stood out. The Suns do stand out. I think the new coach helps. But I'll tell you, I'm not sure what to take of this Lakers team yet because LeBron has definitely regressed, and he's definitely a secondary piece to Anthony Davis, but they're playing tough. I mean, what did they lost one bad game to the Warriors, but other than that, they've beaten some decent teams. They hung in the game against the Suns. Lakers are really interesting me. I just don't think they can make it through the season with all these older players. That's my big thing with them.
Yeah, man. I will say this though. I am a little impressed with JJ Redick a little bit.
I am. Yeah.
He's grown on me. Like I think that he is a legitimate basketball guy, and right, and I think that I was afraid that he was going to side like 100% with the players, and it was always going to be like, look, I was a former player, like I want to be one of the boys. But I'll tell you what, man, I really like the way he's been able to balance being a coach. And a player that's not far removed from the game. I think it's not an easy balance to do, but I think he's nailing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, last year I thought he was really good at being a play-by-play guy.
Yep.
So I mean, or I guess he was more on the color side of it, but still, yeah. Either way, courtside, and yeah, I've been impressed too. I mean, I heard the original story of him like in a car wash, the other day.
Pretty cool,
and it wasn't. He's like, listen, someone's going to report this. That I don't need that reported. That wasn't me. I just had a few minutes. I needed to look at stuff, and they saw me doing it. Like I thought it was a real response to it. He's not trying to be fake. He's trying to be him. And I do think he's gonna. I do think he brings a little bit of LA to them too. If you know what I mean. He's got the hair. He's got the look. I think they dig that too out there. So if you got the fans on your side. You definitely have a step in the right direction. But Tony, I will also say one other team to still look out for. I'm thinking is going to get there this year is Houston. I like
really.
Yeah, I do. I love Sengun, and Jalen Green has turned into like an electric player in this league. I have him on one of my fantasy teams, but he's averaging 24 plus points a game. I think they have nice little pieces there, young players. So I think last year they made a late run, almost made the playoffs. And I think this year might be a year you see them hop into the playing games.
Wow. Listen, I'll tell you what, man, they're young and they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
Or they really are. And the thing is, as long as they can play disciplined basketball, again, they have every shot, especially with the playing game, like you mentioned, with the way to get in, that they do have that opportunity. I like it that there's so many good teams. Listen, I like basketball, man. Like, I like the NBA. I'm so happy the Sixers are on tonight at 10:30. Like, I love the West Coast game, man. Like, I cannot wait to watch the West Coast game. But before we get out of here, Dave, we got a Monday Night Football game going on right now. We got the Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Looks like they're only 3-0 right now. But what was your take in this game, man? Do you think there's any way? I mean, look, Tampa Bay's holding them a little bit, but what do you think for a result for this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's another Chiefs game, right? It's already slow paced, 3-0 at the end of one. They just they're not very sexy anymore. But not just that, they just I broke it down on One Daily Sports earlier, and the biggest thing is you've seen them just decline in all their offensive numbers. They used to average over 300 yards a game passing. Now they're down to about 224. It's just a very different flavor of how they do things. Now they're very good on defense. They're number 2 defensive team according to DVOA. They're number 2 in yards allowed. Like, they're good, right? And that's really where they do things a lot differently. So what I'm saying is it's a typical Chiefs game in my mind so far. You'll get the Mahomes moments coming up. They'll be able to pass against this team. They'll move it. But I think the Bucs have a fighting shot of keeping this close. Saints kept it close there for a while until Derek Carr tapped out with a hip injury. And I think the Chiefs pull away late. I do think they end up getting the cover. I think they win by about 10-12. But they're gonna struggle a little bit to pull away from Tampa. Tampa's got, even without all the receivers, I mean, the Bucky Irving, Rashad Wright, and you got enough with K. Dot, and I think they can move the ball a little bit against the Chiefs. So I expect the Chiefs to win double digits, but in the end, they're not that impressive. That's why the Lions are the best team in this league.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. So what do you think, bro? If Friday goes, this was my I got a parlay going for this game tonight. There's a couple stretches. Okay. I did take Mahomes over 1.5 touchdowns. I know he hasn't been, but I just say, you know what? I think he throws 2 touchdowns tonight. I took Rashad White over 3.5 receptions. I took Kelsey over 5.5 receptions. And then the oddball here is I took Mecole Hardman. His over was 7.5 receiving yards. I'm like, how does he not get one catch in this game for like 9 yards? So but what do you think? What out of all those, what if I was going to hit 3 out of 4 legs, what burns me? What do you think?
Yeah, bro. First off, last Monday night, I told you the hardest thing you were going to get was Daniel Jones interception. He throws on like the last play of the game. So I wake up and like he crushed it, right? He got it. Then I saw George Pickens stop catching the ball. What's
the odds, dude? What was the odds? I missed it by 1 leg.
Yeah, and he had 4 by the second quarter. He never got another one. I was sure Pickens had the 4.5. When you got that interception, I was going nuts. But I like playing this game, and it's I'm actually in the Rashad White bin with you. I had him over 3.5 as well. I really like that call. I like Kelsey a ton over 5.5. My reason for Kelsey was a little bit. Yeah, he's a big primetime guy, but also with the Jason Kelsey stuff yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
A few days ago, and smashing the kid's phone in Penn State. I like that Travis might want to back it up for his girlfriend. But, that Hardman one could be tough just because Hopkins is seeing the field a lot more. And I still think Watson got 75% of the snaps last week, even though they don't throw on the ball much. So Hardman, I'm going to say, is the toughest one, but you just need one. What do you need, 2?
No, it's over 7.5 yards.
1. You're going to need 1 catch. Yeah.
I mean, I just saw it and I was like yesterday, the one prop that I had was over 2.5 receiving yards for Ray Davis. And I was like, I got to take that. How does he not get he had 2 catches for 70 yards, right?
To the house. Yep.
So our man Z Smitty checking in says Bijan Robinson has gone from overrated into the season to incredibly underrated. People have him as a 6th or 7th running back. Meanwhile, he's running back 4 after going 20 plus 4 weeks in a row, man. Yeah, Dave, we did how many shows on Sirius in the preseason, and how many people, there were people at that time talking to Bijan being drafted as the number 1 running back at all. Remember that?
Yeah, we probably landed him about 3rd or 4th on our chart. Yeah. So I do think he got the respect, but and I do really value the point here. But my problem with Bijan, and it's a long-standing problem, 4 touchdowns this year. Tyler Algier steals some near the red zone. And, you're just getting these ball hawks like Saquon getting 8 touchdowns or 6, Derrick Henry 11. They've been more the factors, but I love Bijan. I just think he's still being underused a little bit.
For some reason, they love Tyler Algier. Like I say that all the time. They love them some Tyler Algier. You have a guy, and like somebody says here, an incredibly efficient offense. I don't see how people don't have him as the RB3 going forward. Smitty, I listen. If I was coaching the team, he'd be an RB3 going forward. The problem is the utilization of him. It's just not there. Like, I don't understand. Like, I would formulate my entire offense around Bijan Robinson, but instead they don't do that, right? And that's the crazy part about it, man. But Dave, it's funny. I'll let you go on this one to tell you. So I won this week in my main fantasy league. I'm 9-0.
Nice.
Not right. So now I will tell you this, that it's a 10-man league, but 2 people dropped out the last minute. So it went to an 8-man league. Okay. So obviously teams are a little, inflated with talent, right? Because of the 8-man rosters. But here's my ready. How much we talked about, in the off season about running back. So, I was a Saquon guy, right? Yep. I was a Derrick Henry guy.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what's the odds? I got both of them, right?
Yeah.
So check this out. So I'm rolling, right? CJ Stroud, right? Who hasn't even been that good.
Nope.
Okay. I got my 3 running backs are Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. On the bench, got Chase Brown, DeAndre Swift, right? And then
great players. Right.
Yeah. Tight end, Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I love him. Yep.
Receivers, I had Nico. I had Puka, right? I got George Pickens. I got Malik Neighbors. Dude, I'm like, I said to these guys, yeah, but these other guys' team stinks. I'm like, what were you guys looking at? Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? So yesterday, I went in and I was down by 70 points, and dude, Saquon just went off.
Yep.
It was just like everybody was going off and just like, you're never gonna lose, dude. I'm like, I can't help it, man. What do you want me to do, man? So it's been fun. Smitty says, yeah, but these guys are getting in the end zone, are putting in similar points. Inevitably, he will get in the end zone more. Even if he gets in the end zone once, he's dropping 30 a week. Wow, that's I mean, look, I don't know, man. Like, I get it. I completely agree with the analysis. The problem is they have to use them there, Dave, and I just don't think they are.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, you can love Bijan. I love Bijan. I think he's a special talent. I think he's probably one of the top 3 running backs in the league talent-wise, but I'm still convinced that they have a deep offensive system that doesn't use him enough, and the other guys will get the touches. Now we're going to watch. Drake London got kind of banged up. I think that was a concussion. It could open up some more room for him to get some end zone opportunities. So yeah, he's never going to be consistent 30 points. That's asking, that's back to LaDainian Tomlinson days, but consistent over 20, I take every day. And I think that's realistic for Bijan. And that's great, by the way.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's definitely up and coming. Rachaad White just scored, by the way, scored a touchdown for
there we go.
Tampa Bay. So again, everybody thought Rachaad White was going to go away. He's still hanging around, man. He's still hanging around. But Dave, man, I'm gonna let you get out of here. I appreciate you joining me as always, man. What you got going on this week, brother?
Yeah, we're just sending them some big things with our college football show on Saturday. We'll be going over the big games. My son was just out at Penn State, Ohio State. So, I mean, college football is alive in this house, and fam, that was a tough one. James Franklin is we got some questions to answer. Yeah. But the other thing, obviously get some betting articles out. I had a Monday Night Football article out. Big day. I mean, this weekend, 6-2-1 in Discord, 3-1-1 in the bets and the article. So we're starting to really see the trends start to move in the right direction. What we've seen a lot in the first 8 weeks was a lot of public-sided bets had been dominating or at least winning. And now we're starting to see a little bit of a swing. So something to keep an eye on in future. And that's like what you said. The Miami bet was, one of those that not a lot of people probably backed and saw coming. I actually liked Jacksonville with the points yesterday too, and got probably fortunate there. But yeah, we got a lot going on. And as always, we're staying active on Discord and here and on Twitter.
Yeah, man, I love it, man. You can follow him DGLOECK. All right, brother, you have a great night. Enjoy watching the Sixers games, man, and I'll talk to you this week, obviously, and hopefully next Monday as well.
Yeah, be good, brother.
All right, man. Have a great night. I'm my man Dave Gleckner again, checking in as always on the Tony Cutillo show here at Pike's Pub. And before we get out of here, I want to play this. I noticed this that it came on before the game. This is Jason Kelsey talking about the incident that happened on Sunday Night Football. Just in case we didn't hear it, I think he issued a statement. So let me play this for you. See what he said. And there he is, Jason Kelsey, talking on the incident that happened. And listen, man, he didn't have to do that, but he did. Obviously, maybe his publicist told him that he had to say something, but you could tell that he was very heartfelt, and he's probably pissed off that it happened. And it did happen. Unfortunately, he's getting to that point, man. He's getting to that point where, he's not just able to be a normal person anymore, right? You're always going to be greeted when you have success, you have hate. Right. We live in a society where, people are so focused on what you have and asking why you have it instead of just trying to understand how you got it and trying to get it yourself. Right. So everybody is always, we live in a very hateful world. Everybody's, instead of being happy for each other, we hate on each other. And, that's what happened. Dude got his clicks, he got his clout, whatever. But at the end of the day, it'll all be forgotten eventually, and we'll move on in society. And as always, man, this has been a fantastic show. Shout out to everybody at Pike's Pub that's been listening along, everybody following online, all the comments, the guests from Sean Bernard checking in for Fox Sports The Gambler, my man Dave Gleckner checking in from Sirius XM, my man Jimmy Mack right here live talking Phillies, and who could forget Brian, the bar captain, in the first hour, talking everything from feet to I don't even know what he was saying at the time, but he definitely made it a very interesting night. But as always, man, everybody continue to be safe, continue to have a fantastic week, and we'll catch you back here next Monday night live from Pike's Pub in Southampton. Everybody have a good one.